We are here to do a job. We are here to provide for the customer and make sure they are not fucked around again, right? And what we're gonna just let people in, and they were polite, but you guys don't know. Like
I don't, Liam. I don't.
Be glad you don't.
That's why you're here.
Let's exactly. It's ridiculous. I don't have time for games, ladies and gentlemen. I honestly do not. I have too much going on. I've taken a day here because it's election day, and we're gonna have a fun little. It's
not
stream.
your election day. It's our election day.
Yeah. Well, it is. Your election day is the one that matters.
No, your day is Felix Haas Appreciation Day. Our day.
True.
Yes.
Right,
Please appreciate Felix, people. Give him some appreciation and shit.
Or DTFO.
Yes.
Liam, I gotta get the heck out of here because I gotta go.
You do. See you later. If this is true, bring me Ethan Van Sciver. If this is what he said and it was not a joke, bring him to me.
What are you talking about?
Now.
Who?
EBS and Malin streamed with him for hours. It's clear to me that Nasser will return with open arms.
Oh, you want to get Nasser in here or EVS?
No, Ethan. Bring me Ethan and John. Bring them to me now. I'll be live all day.
What are you talking about? Who are you? Orange Emperor?
That's right. I'm the Orange Tyrant. Bring them to me. I'm online. I'll be online all day. They can tell it to my face. They can say it to my face. They can tell me I'm wrong to my face.
Well,
if this is what's going on, share the stream out. I'm waiting. I'll wait because I will not abide this. Got people saying
if EVS shows up, I'll leave. You know what?
Yeah.
If y'all can get EVS in here, I'll leave.
Everyone does because we'll deal with this. I will not tolerate this.
And I know y'all want me to leave.
You're not in a position to say who is not confiscated? Sure I am. Let's see. If we're going to let Nasser back in to fuck with Liam because that's funny, let's see how funny that really is. Fun. There's active malicious spreading of lies. The Crown will be handling the issues. Conspire will classify HD and present me as a child predator. I interacted with a 14-year-old band, sir. I took money from the campaign to pay for them, but I abused animals.
Like Mike and Edwin and Edwin like Mike.
In fact, you are gleefully graining your hands like some sort of Machiavellian supervillain at the idea that you may be able to run a defamation campaign on me.
Like Mike and Edwin like Mike.
So I should be a piece of shit that lies on the ground and just repeatedly gets kicked and is silent about it. I'm a victim of themes and sin. Yeah, read it again. I know you're big brain. Yeah, fun. No, you pretend. Fun. You haven't even fucking idiot. You haven't even asked. Funds. Who wants to be saved by a woman? Women don't even want to be saved by women. Who wants to be saved by a woman? Women don't even want to be saved by women. You are a piece of human trash.
Like Mike and Edwin like Mike.
But I know who you are. You are a piece of human trash. Go fucking go.
Like Mike and Edwin like Mike.
DM.
So why did you give Mike permission to draw your Bigfoot Bill in his newest Monster Hunt comics?
I love helping Mike out as a fellow Christian. I've told him, burn every bridge you got, and if everything goes wrong, just fall back on your video game money. I mean, it's a simple plan that I've stuck to, and I don't know why he won't do it.
Yes.
What the hell? That's just weird.
Yes.
You're the last person I want to talk about this movie with.
Oh, why? Because you don't want to get in your pajamas with me, Nasser?
That's sick.
Yes.
Mike, dance with your wife some more. Why you're like to me? You're like that clown with the red rooster, Mitch pencil neck Breitweiser. Why did he get a pretty wife? Why did you get a pretty wife? Where's my pretty wife?
And I go in there, and Mike is sitting there, leaned back in his chair with sunglasses on, and he goes, "You're in quite a pickle, aren't you, Ethan?"
Do that laugh again. That's
I can't. Yeah, I mean, it was something else. He's like, "You're in quite the pickle, aren't you, Ethan?"
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No, don't
Okay.
do that.
Oh, yes.
Liam Gray says, Doug, do you denounce Nasser?
No, there's no need to. Nasser does it himself every day.
No, folks, we're going to have a Saturday night slumber party massacre with Nasser. Yes.
What are you talking about?
Yes, it's going to be a massacre with Nasser. Saturday night slumber party.
Bring me Ethan and John. Bring them to me now.
Oh my goodness. Welcome everybody. Afterlife with Nasser, episode 117. Liam Gray is dead. Malin Militia. How are you guys doing today? Wow, we already got 20 people in here, you guys. Hit that thumbs up, that thumbs down, whichever one you want. Share out the link to this stream, please. Liam Gray is dead. We've got some stuff to talk about, but I want to see how you guys are doing. Let me know how your guys' day is going down in the chat. Let me scroll back. And of course, we got Shilling. You guys could buy my books at that link. At that link, you guys could get Creepsters shirts. You could back my Patreon right there. You could get the Comicsgate Variety Fun Package at this link. Godlike right there. Cyberfrog toys. Gable Penny Shots says, pour one out for our homeboy Liam. Dark Lord Fudd says, Liam is no more. Did Nintendo strike him from orbit or something for his current campaign? Helmut says, wait, dead? Like Mike S. Miller's career in comics or Edwin Boyette's political ambitions? Jay Dollarsign says, election day. Bob Reed says, Edwin Boyette failed the YGOP chair to full-time douchebag. Jeremy Britt says, you lost the seat, Liam. The man with principles is Bob Gable. Helmut says, man, Liam looks like a bag of Cheetos or somebody puked him. Earth Mind says, I'm glad we gave Liam's position in CG to Nasser. He has many more years ahead of him. Bob Reed says, funds. Yucky Gum Comics in the chat. Nice to see you here, dude. There's a link for the Comicsgate Variety Fun Package because Mr. Wu makes me shill that every time I start a stream, and he makes me shill it in the middle, and he makes me shill it at the very end. So this is going to be literally just a 10-second look at his campaign here, but he's got 20 backers, $772, and I'm obligated to say, pump and squirt, pump me, I squirt. That's for a water gun. There's Comicsgate socks on here, Amphibious Android, a Fat Uncle Whoopee Cushion who's not Cecil, and a Comicsgate membership. Oh, and the sticker. So get it, guys. All that stuff is $25. Get it on Indiegogo. Amateur Ant says, bring me Soy Rage, bring him to me now. There's not gonna be any Soy Rage on this stream. I'm sorry, guys. No Soy Rage tonight. Absolutely no Soy Rage. The Reddit Silver member says, this is such a terrible intro, in my honest opinion. Which one? We did a few intros. Gable Pennyshot says, I approve of all the times I'm in the intro. Yeah, Gable, you're in it a few times. Trusty Sidekick, let's see here. Good artist. He says, a massacre. Amateur Ant says, did Liam kill himself? I think he died from a disease. Mr. Yonafui says, Liam is dead. It's not very Christian to say that. Well, he said it. Bob Gable says, terrible news. Eric and Void says, did you buy Soy Rage, that French maid outfit for Halloween? Of course I did. No, wait, I didn't buy him anything. That's sick. That's disgusting, Eric. Why would you say something like that? We got Frakoff Felger Carb in the chat. He says, a hail all. Let's see here, dude. He says, Nasser's the poster child, if millennials. Okay. Mr. Wu says, good, you sell toy. Get that. Says, hail Nasser at Comics. Let's see here, dude. Dark Lord Fudd says, sure, it's about a water gun. It is about a water gun. You guys saw it. So what have you guys been up to today? I hope you guys have all had a good day. Today has been a day. It's Saturday. I had work, and then I came home and I watched a movie with my brother, a movie called VIYV. It was a solid movie. I liked it. My brother thought it was okay, but I really dug that movie. And then my sister came home. She was getting her hair did, and then we went to Spirit Halloween. And I did a stream earlier, if anyone wants to catch it on replay. First Spirit Halloween visit of 2021. Walked around kind of awkwardly looking at stuff. It was a solid stream. And I was debating to get either this Chucky Good Guys doll sweater, the sweater that looks kind of gay, or a Jason Voorhees hockey sweater that looked really cool. And I was asking you guys what to get, and a few of you said get the Jason Voorhees one. A few of you said, oh no, go with the good guy one. And I was about to grab the Jason Voorhees one, and then Pete Callan, I don't know if he's in the chat right now, but he was there earlier. He sends me a $5 super chat, and he says, well, get the good guys one. So I did it. And it came with this knife. So I bought this sweater, this good guy sweater, and it came with this it's just a toy knife. It's plastic, but yeah, it came with this knife. So I got the sweater. It goes well with my Child's Play 2 poster back there. I also have a Chucky doll, but it's in the closet over there. I didn't grab it for the stream. But yeah, so I got the good guy sweater, and the knife goes good with the poster and the life-size Chucky doll. So let me see what else people are saying in the chat. Reddit Silver Members says another one of us taken by Ligma. Mr. Unifui says my intros are perfect. It can't be mine. Yucky Gum says Soy Rage is always tuckered out during the daytime. Yep. He works so much during the night. He's just exhausted in the day. Amateur Ann says Nasser bought that matrix for himself. Frakov, what are you saying? Nasser loves mayo spread on his thighs? That's sick. Darkwood Fud says, did you buy Soy Rage the sword? Of course I did, and he got this knife. I'm going to give him the knife too. Yucky Gums is looking sharp. Yeah, he was team good guy sweater. Even though it looks a little gay, it's got all those colors. Gable Penny Shot says, leave the camera on. Let us bask in the glory of that sweater. We'll leave it on for a little bit. I don't like keeping it on. Bob Gable says, my eyes, WTF shirt is that? It's a sweater. It's a you never seen Child's Play? This is what Chucky wears. I got to go back for the Jason one. I got to get the Jason one. I have a Freddy sweater, and it was this or Jason. I was this close to getting Jason, and then I got a super chat saying get the Child's Play one, so I had to listen. Amtran says that's a big ASS rainbow shirt. Gigadet says Nasser dropped the wig. It doesn't go with the shirt. It's not a wig. It's just my hair. You guys don't like my hair? Frakov says the Cliff Huxtable sweater looks better. I'm kind of lost. Scientific Lens says you look more like Ernie from Sesame Street. You guys are going to kill my confidence now. Mr. Yonafui. Oh, and I just noticed if you guys look above his name, Yonafui, right there, you can actually see the Child's Play box for the NECA figure I have of it. But Mr. Yonafui says, Nasser, I think you are taking the game very seriously. Watch your butt. Helmet says, you look like you fell in a cauldron full of Pride Month. It was a bad idea. Darklord Fud says, so if Soy works all night, how can you... I can't even read that. That's disgusting. Tube Sock says, is that what you wear to hit on girls? I just bought this like an hour ago. Eric and Boyd says, dye your hair orange to really pull off the Chucky cosplay. You guys are killing me. All right, guys. Okay, all right. If you guys are going to roast me, you guys could at least buy my books, okay? I'm going to put the link here in the chat. Let's see. Buy my books. Guys, I've got 10 books on Amazon and Kindle for you guys to buy, okay? If you guys are going to roast me so bad, at least buy them. Let me share my screen so we can take a look at them. And I'm 16 sales away, guys, from 200 sales so far on the year. So we got 35 people in here. If all of you bought one of my books, I've got 10 books, so I know there's some of you that don't have them all. But if everyone just bought one of them, I'd be way past 200 sales now. I'm at 184, so 16 more till we get to 200. And if you guys buy these paperbacks, you guys get them in 2 days from Amazon. So if you guys are waiting on Indiegogos to fulfill, then then you guys could buy these past the time. If you get the ebooks, you can read them instantly on any device. So check them out, guys. The Christmas Morning Massacre is book 1 in this 5-book slasher series. This is about a bunch of girls, this group of girls that are snowed into a mansion with a killer on the loose. So if you guys like Black Christmas, Halloween, Friday the 13th, that sort of thing, you guys will dig this book. Yucky Gum says the Chucky overalls will break up the extreme rainbow look. It didn't come with overalls. The girl one did, but the boy outfit didn't. Gable says Creepsters when? October 15. October 15, we're launching Creepsters. So, yeah, a little bit more about that later, possibly. But, all right, guys. So if you guys are going to roast me, at least buy my books. But anyways, let me stop the screen. And let's head over to, if I could get it to go. Here we go. Kiwi Farm. So this was posted earlier today from Said No One Ever. Says, well, Liam is dying. I started it late, but watched the first couple minutes, and he's been diagnosed with something. So he decided to live stream his life story for his new daughter, since he might not be around for very long. Good grief. You know what? Before we EFAP it real quick, I'm going to get the link sent to the green room. Let me get it copied here. I don't think I sent it to them. I just remembered. Here we go. Okay, so the green room has it. Maybe we'll get some guests in. I don't know. We'll see. Helmut says, another stream about Liam Gray, or in the words of Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. It's garbage day. Yes. Gable Penny Shot says, we're all going to hell if he's actually dying. I don't think he's actually dying. He's not dying. Everything this guy says is made up for attention, okay? He's not dying. Bob Gable says, I did get Wirehead today. It looks cool. Yeah, Wirehead looked great. I didn't back it. I don't know why. It looked great. It's a slasher comic. It's one of the Alterna guys. I forget his name. I can't remember his name. He did a book called Blood Realm. The guy that drew Blood Realm, he wrote Wirehead, and somebody else drew Wirehead. I can't remember the team's name. I remember it looked good, but I can't remember. Maybe I just forgot. You know, there's so many books, so many campaigns that if you don't back them right away, sometimes you might never see them shared anywhere again, and then you just kind of forget about it. But yeah, Wirehead, yeah, that one looked good. I would have backed it. All right, I'm gonna stop my screen. Oh no, I meant stop camera, not stop screen. Well, I was gonna stop it anyways to share the actual stream. But yeah, I stopped my screen because I don't know, I'm a little shy of being on the camera constantly. But I thought I'd put it for that Child's Play sweater I got. But this is Liam's stream, and oh, Bob says Rob Geronimo. That's the guy, yeah. Gable says, I got my Wirehead today too. It was all right. Plot is nothing to write home about, but some of the splash pages are great. Interesting. JV says, my favorite part is he says he remembers learning to walk by holding on to his dog. 2, he wrote a music video that he doesn't mention by name because I guess his future daughter will just have to find out. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. So here we go with the EFAP. Let me, I almost enlarged it, but no, I'd rather keep it this way and see the live chat. I couldn't imagine actually being a fan of Liam and showing up in this chat. Oh, this thing's unlisted now. He already unlisted this thing. So I'm going to post the link to this actually for you guys because it's unlisted. I found it by going to the farms, but here, I'll put it in the chat, Liam's stream. So if any of you want to EFAP it on your own channel or just laugh at it on your own time, there it is. But now we are going to get into this EFAP. So let me unmute it and let's go. I did not watch any of this, just so you guys know. I just skipped this part right here where you could see the dumb little Wonder Island, Boy Island intro thing. I just skipped right past it to where that ends. And so this is the start of Liam's stream outside of his intros.
Hi. Hello. My name is Liam Gray, and I'm a man of many faces, many masks, and many lives, many incarnations, like the...
And he's never going to tell you about any of them. Liam always says, oh, I've been ghostwriting mainstream comic book stuff you've all read for the last 20 years. And he talks about, he's like, I wrote movies too, and I was in bands, and I did the cover art for for different bands' albums, and he'll never tell you about any of it. But he's on here like, I've lived many lives.
Like the Doctor, if anyone knows who that is, I've been many people. I'm making this video for my daughter, for Elle, to clear up some things. As you know by now.
Wait, how's she gonna find this if it's unlisted? Why is this unlisted? If this is for your future daughter, why is this unlisted? I just realized that. And why would he make it a stream for you guys if this is for his daughter? Why is it a stream? Why did he do a stream for his subscribers? It doesn't make any sense. Doomsock says Liam takes himself way too seriously.
I have been I've been diagnosed with the condition, and I might not be around for a very long time.
Well, what were you? He says I was diagnosed with the condition. With what? Isn't this stuff your future daughter needs to know? Gable says, I think it's all performance art, and I love it. I don't know. Either I think he's mentally ill. I don't think it's performance art. I think he's mentally ill, but let's continue.
So, in the hopes that you might get to know who I am, and I think it's a great start that, you know, I'm starting this by being a big crying pussy.
Why would you say something like that to your daughter, dude? I don't even know what else to say. That's disgusting. Honestly, that's disgusting.
You'll get to know me, my life, who your father was, why your father was the way he was, and
wait, is Liam gonna admit he's mentally ill? That's all he has to say. He's like, I'm like this because I'm mentally ill. I need a doctor.
And
amateur, and he's been diagnosed.
Hopefully, you can understand why things are and why you are the way you are.
Did he just say why you are the way you are? She's not
the
even
most
born
important
yet.
thing.
If she's even real.
Before I get into like 4 hours of my whole life story, is that you understand that you should never live your life in fear.
What is all this fake deep stuff he's trying to leave in some message to his daughter that doesn't exist? Don't live your life in fear. That's like something pulled from a list of like top 10 worst comic book quotes. That's like some fake deep like wannabe Stan Lee, like he's trying to be Stan Lee, and instead of something actually meaningful, like with great power comes great responsibility, he's like, don't live your life in fear.
Don't live under someone's boot. Don't let anyone push you around. Don't stay with a guy if he treats you badly. The other thing that you should really hold on to is that life isn't fair. And a lot of what you're going to hear is going to sound pretty...
Life isn't fair. I mean, this is the dude that says he's ghost-written movies and comic books and mangers and music videos, apparently, for the last, like, 25 years. So how is it unfair if you've actually done all these things? I'll never understand this dude. Mean Mr. Mustard says, is being a retard considered a condition? Snake Eye says, the condition. Tube Sock says, his conditions is soy rage. Yucky Gum says, I just walked in to see what condition my condition is in. Oh my goodness. Eric and Boy says, what condition my condition was in. Oh, Dungeon Master Blaster says, I don't think Liam thought this through. TubeSock000 says he said he would be gone a while, meaning he would be back at some point. Maybe he's going into AA. Dark Lord Fudge says if he leaves the comments on, she'll find out all right. Oh, we got Vilnet in the chat just putting ...
pretty dark and pretty ugly. But I want you to know that the world is a beautiful place, really. And it is hard to see the good that's out there when everything does seem bleak. But I've done my absolute best to provide you with everything that you will need to be a thriving and functional part of society. I've worked very hard to the best of my ability. So, where to start?
I just don't know what to say to any of that. I can just laugh. Like that's all I can do is laugh at this guy. I'm speechless.
The reason that you're not in contact with my family, the reason that we've separated ourselves from them,
is because I beat my grandma.
is due to, well, a number of reasons. But my father, I haven't seen since I was about 4.
Is he the one that taught you to beat your grandma?
I'll start at the beginning, I guess. I grew up here in South Grafton. You know, I was sort of born here on the south side. Well, you're not here anymore. Never go back. But my father's parents were Irish. You know, they came over from Ireland right before he was born to live here. You'll find documentation on our full family line that goes back in that direction. They were a family of doctors and teachers, largely educators, going back to a long line. And my father, of course, Eugene, was the black sheep of the family. He felt
Jeez, how many grandmas did he beat?
Need to sort of rebel. He was someone who was said to have had a lot of promise and could have done a lot with his life, but he fell into, ironically, like rock and roll and substance abuse. And the substance abuse was...
This all sounds completely made up. Like he's just pulling stuff out of like movies now. Like he's just taking the scenarios from different movies and putting them together. JV says he names no one in the video except for outing someone for committing bestiality. Ugh. Amtran says this is Liam giving advice to Liam. Dude, Scott says I just want my daughter to know I'm a worthless. Oh, ugh. Yeah, I'm not even gonna finish his sentence. Jalapeno Milk says his daughter is going to be really disappointed Liam is still alive when she finds this video. Stephen Rockwood says, I think Liam stole this from a Michael Keaton movie. JV says, Stephen Rockwood, that's what I figured. Is he watching that movie recently? I love you guys. Let's see. Darkwood Fun says, is he reading his script from a friggin' Celine Dion song or something? This is some babbling BS. Yukiko says, please play the Incredible Hulk TV theme. JV says, Nasser, you should name this stream My Liam, the Michael Keaton film. It's called My Life. Michael Keaton films himself for his kids before he dies. Mean Mr. Mustard says, doctors and teachers spun this turd. They must be proud. Gable says, I, for one, am going to miss Liam. He was the gift that kept on giving. Rip Liam 2021. Oh, my goodness.
It's more powerful than the rock and roll. And it really took hold of him. My mother had some issues, and that's when you act with her, or hopefully not.
Is he like predicting this stuff? Like, isn't this child unborn? If she even exists at all? Like, isn't this the child he said he's expecting? Which he said he was expecting this child like last year in November when I came back to CG. He's like, my child's about to be born and I don't need this, blah, blah, blah. Like, wasn't he saying that back then? And now it's still, he's saying that now? Like, oh, any day now? It's been any day now for almost a year, dude.
No contact. I know that your mother doesn't like that I'm so hardline about these things, but I am doing it to try and protect you from that world, just as I'm trying to protect your sister and the other girls from that world. It's easy for people that aren't...
Your sister and the other girls? Who are the other girls? Why don't you just say your sisters, plural?
Part of it, not to understand why I am as strict as I am and uptight as I am about certain moral principles.
Moral principle. This guy wants to talk about moral principles. How many channels did he false flag when they were in the middle of campaigns? He did that to me and Vic King. We were only a day and a half, maybe 2 days into Asile last year, and he false flagged my channel and I couldn't stream for weeks, and it took a lot of momentum out of that campaign and my channel. My channel was on fire back then. And he did the same thing to Smiller. I mean, F Smiller, but Smiller was in the middle of campaigns. He took down the channel Soy Rage was streaming from, the Trash Compactor show when Soy Rage had those socks to sell. Liam's false flagged several channels, and he wants to talk about, I'm a strict and moral parent. What? None of this makes sense. Ducklord Fudge says, great to see Liam has carried on the noble tradition of being the black sheep of life. Bravo, Liam. Eric Owens says, long line educators from Ireland. Right. It's like he mad-libbed it or something. Like he was just filling in, like, I need an adjective here, I need a job here. Like Helmut says, he simply recites Leonard Skinner's Simple Man mixed with an Australian anti-suicide pamphlet. Earth Minds says, Liam also make sure everyone knows he doesn't want to kill anyone because he says it about 90 times, but he will kick your head in. Hey, we got Sauce in the chat. Nice to see Sauce here. Yeah, he said, seriously, you're going to film yourself for your children before you die, and you put a skeleton castle representing death behind you. Yucky Gum says, my mother has issues as my comic store name. Oni64 says, this is going to be a 4-hour EFAP. I don't know if we're going to EFAP the whole thing. But we're at least going to have some laughs.
Hopefully when this is done, you'll understand, even if you don't agree with me, that I'm doing this for your protection.
Protection? How does this protect anyone? You made it unlisted. Do you guys see this right here? The Life of Liam, a letter to L. Right below it says unlisted. How is she gonna find this? But you know what she can find? She can find my books on Amazon. Here's the link in the chat, you guys, if you guys want to buy them.
My father fell into problems, and my mother always was one. So those two hit it off like a house on fire. And after a couple of house fires and a whole lot of fighting and a whole lot of problems, they were up and down the coast, in and out of motorcycle gangs, gladiators. They were making the majority of their money through selling marijuana at the time. Living out on dope farms and pot farms.
Guys, this is all just stuff he's seen in movies that he just threw it all into a blender.
And of course, one thing led to another, and along came me, the world's happiest accident.
This is so weird. He's like, yeah, my parents became rock stars, and then they sold drugs, and then somehow from selling drugs, they made me. I don't understand any of that. I don't follow any of this.
My mother heavily abused various different substances, not just marijuana, while she was pregnant with me, which is the reason that I have yellow teeth and various.
Is that the reason you're brain damaged?
Mutations, and my body's all fucked up and weird. It's got pros and cons. You've got the medical documents if you need anything, records, everything. Your mother has it all. So I'm a weirdo. I was born weird. I was born dead. I was born dead.
Born dead? What's that even supposed to mean? I was born dead. That's like that. That reminds me. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of that bit from if you guys have seen Scary Movie. I forgot if it was the first one or one of the sequels, but there were two dudes. How they would always say something like, "How do you turn up missing?" and things like that. Like that's exactly what Liam is doing here. Like he's like, I was born dead. Well, how can you be born dead? Like how can you turn up missing?
Resuscitated, and I was a week early and dead. So not off to a good start. I recovered quickly, and most of my earliest memories are of my very earliest memories are of Bly Street. There I was with my mother and my father, probably until I was about 3 or 4. though we moved around a lot because the police were looking for us a lot. So I remember
What?
being in the bottom of cars and sitting in the bucket of old trucks and the back of old trucks as well, utes and stuff. That's how it was back then. It was very different. You didn't always have to have a car seat. Big holes in the bottom of the car that you could like look out and see the road speeding underneath, you know?
None of this is real. This is all stuff he's seen in movies. JV says yellow teeth doesn't come from marijuana. Bob Gable says he rats out his family. If any of this is even real. Sauce says pot isn't like meth or crack. Stephen Rockwood says it means stillborn. Born dead. Deep says yucky gum. Jalapeno Milk says that's like how Guts from Berserk Manger was born. Serial Killer Talk says Bob Gable. JV says this is the greatest live reading of a 15-year-old girl's diary I've ever heard. Oh my goodness. Comic Book One says Creepheads Unite. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Opinion Milk says you should make one of the creepsters an orange one with an Australian hat and brain damage. You know, so many people have told me that. Steven Rockwood says, LOL, the police are looking for them. I mean, Mr. Mustard said this is so weird. Who does this? This dude is mentally ill. He's mentally ill. that's who does this. And he's like, this is for my unborn daughter who's been any day now. She's about to be born, and he made it unlisted. He made it unlisted. How is she gonna find this? How is she gonna find it?
Old dinghies, bush bashes, really. So my earliest memory is reading Aesop's Fables that I had been given by my grandmother on my father's side as a gift.
And he loved it so much he beat her.
I would have probably been about 3.5 or I started school at 4, so I was about 3.5 years old. The pictures in it were mostly what held my attention, but I liked the stories. I liked that they had meaning. I like when things have meaning. I feel a lot of the times the world is very confusing and is just chaotic.
This is so deep, Liam. It's so deep.
But through stories, we can give meaning to that chaos and give hope to the world. And I think that that's something that the world is sorely lacking. And I hope that you do not inherit my cynicism. My next memory.
William in Liam's chat has wrenched this doesn't belong on the internet. Make these privately recorded. Right. But the reason he's doing this, okay, first of all, he does not have a daughter that he's actually recording this to. He's just doing this to be an attention whore. Okay, that's what it is. He wants to be an attention whore. He wants attention. He wants people to be like, "Oh, poor Liam. No, Liam, don't die on us." This is all made up.
This is where things get real, I suppose.
He's trying to get people to be sympathetic so they'll back his campaigns.
The next most prominent memory I have is of my father severely beating me while I was on the linoleum.
That's where he learned to beat his grandma.
He was attempting to rape my mother over a hot grill while I was probably...
rape her over a hot grill? Wouldn't he get burned too? How would you hold somebody down over a hot grill? This is all made up. None of this sounds real at all. You would burn yourself.
Probably just 4 years old. I remember being extremely angry, and something changed in me in that moment. I went from, I'd always had it rough. It was normal for people from the South Side to have it rough. That's how it was. So I'm not complaining. Makes you strong. But I was just so angry about the whole situation, and I screamed at him and I tried to do something, and
Liam has always been a hero since he was 4 years old. He was ready to jump on that burning grill.
He said to me, it's a line that, it's like, you think you're a man. And he very fiercely beat me. And
Liam remembers this so vividly from being 4. That doesn't make any sense. He's recalling this perfectly as if it were yesterday. He's like, no, I was 4 years old. I can remember perfectly what I was wearing, where I was standing, what was happening, and I know I could recall exactly what my dad said. None of this happened. None of this happened.
Beat me so severely that I remember being lying there on the linoleum. It was hot. It was summer. I was stuck to the actual floor. And I don't know if it was because of the beating or just being a child, but I was, or maybe even fear, but I was unable to move my body. I remember lying there basically.
What is this? Tell me, guys. Oh my goodness. Do you guys have any memory this vivid from 4 years old? So far, he's been able to recount perfectly the situations around the rape. And then he can remember all the dialogue. And then he remembers standing up to his father. And then he remembers getting beat. And he remembers laying there on the floor and he couldn't move. Were you 30 or were you 4 years old? I don't understand. None of this is real. None of this is real. So that's just 4 years old is where my memories start. Are any of them this vivid? I mean, 2001, I was 4 years old. I remember like my brother was born in 2001. I remember that. That's about it. And that's vague. I mean, that's vague. Let alone all this he's recalling. No, that doesn't make any sense.
Paralyzed, terrified, like shaking, and I was so full of hatred, and it bled it into every aspect of what I was. I felt powerless, and he said to me, "Do you think you're a man?" I couldn't get up. I remember trying to stand or move, and I couldn't.
Sauce is nothing this vivid, of course.
And I laid there, and then basically afterwards they went out. He left.
I gotta pause. His mom Gable says his father challenged the 4-year-old kid and said, "You think you're a man?" Oh my goodness! Giga, this is when I was 4. I got into my first fist fight with my dad. Frackhoff says, Nasser, how about a sequel to Creeps, your Spanksters? Bob Gable, they had to hold Liam back. Mr. Wu says 4-year-old rice paddy farm, huge profit, father half. Dina says, what did I do when I was 4? I think I pranked my kindergarten teacher. Oh my goodness, you guys. We got 43 people in here, guys. Hit the thumbs up, thumbs down, whichever one you want. Share out the link to this stream, please, guys. And I'm putting in the chat right now the link for the Super Asia Fun Toy Comics 8 Variety Fun Package on Indiegogo. It's in demand now. It's got 20 backers. Why don't we get them another backer on this stream, guys? There's 43 people in here. So I know there's at least a few of you that haven't backed it yet. So please check that out for Mr. Wu. JV says, is he describing the scene in Captain Marvel where she is on the ground and gets up dramatically? Oh my goodness, you guys are killing me.
As he did, he slammed the door. And shortly after, my mother went out and sat on the couch. She told me to get up, and then when I didn't, she got pretty angry.
This is the most vivid. Nobody on the planet can tell you about any memory from 4 years old as vivid as he's telling us right now.
At me, ironically, and then she went and she smoked marijuana on the couch. I was taken into hospital by the neighbors when Becky Bell, the girl that lived next door, came over to visit me. She was my best friend at the time, and she saw what had happened, and because she just sort of invited herself in. It was pretty normal. And I would have had.
This sounds like some ex machina somebody threw into their movie script, where it's like this 4-year-old boy got severely beat, and now his mom that was almost raped over a hot grill. She's smoking marijuana next to him, and the father challenged him to a fist fight. And then to get to the hospital, the neighbor's 4-year-old girl just waltzed right in. That doesn't make any sense. And if his parents were such bad people, why would the neighbors let their kids hang around with them? None of this makes sense. And he remembers all of this from being 4 years old. He can recall it perfectly. Now he knows who took him to the hospital. None of this makes sense. It doesn't make any sense. JB says, this is rehearsed storytelling. Oh my goodness. Dina says, what can a person eat to get that round? Larry says, it sounds like one of his comic books. Gigadet says, Becky is his imaginary friend from childhood. Rainbow, nice to see you here. Dude, been a while. Says, it's like Liam is reading fan fiction of his own life.
Had to have just been 4 because she would have been about 3.5 or 4, very small child. And she started screaming, and her parents came over, and I was taken to the hospital. There was talks at the time about putting me into foster care at that time, but my mother.
Who was? I don't understand. Wouldn't they just take you away from your family if all this is going on? If you're 4 and your dad challenged you to a fist fight, who's just talking about putting you into foster care? Wouldn't they just take you away?
And sort of insisted that
you said the police were always looking for your family. They never found them and took you away. I don't understand any of this.
That it was my father's doing, and she had nothing to do with it, and claimed that she was a victim. And that didn't happen. I stayed with my mother. I don't know the year, but it was around the time that they had real life sort of toy guns, and they were indistinguishable from
real life toy guns.
Yeah, this is the nerd stuff that your dad cares about. They had these toy guns that were indistinguishable from real firearms, and then there was some years later there was an accident, and those were no longer be sold in the country. So, you know, if you want to sort of get a year, it was around there. You know, it should be easy to find out. It was a big controversy. So, by the time I was 4.5 or 5 or so, I was looking for excuses to get out of the house. My mother was rather promiscuous with numerous people.
How old did he say he was?
She was, about around there. You know, it should be easy to find out. It was a big controversy. So, by the time I was 4.5 or 5 or so, I was looking for excuses to get out of the.
By the time he was 4.5 or 5, he's looking for excuses to get out the house? This doesn't make any sense at all, guys. I don't understand any of this.
The house, my mother was rather promiscuous with numerous people.
I thought I misheard that. I was like, there's no way. He just says, I was 4.5 or 5. I was looking for reasons to leave the house. And he just called his mother promiscuous. He knew that as a child? That's why he was leaving the house? You were 4.5. How would you know what promiscuous means? I don't understand.
She was not, an innocent woman. She was a severe alcoholic and and a drug addict.
Guns? I don't know.
And I didn't understand, and it took me some years to understand why she didn't love me. I couldn't. I saw other children, and on television they had parents that loved them. And
this is all fake. This is every sob story you've ever seen in any movie or heard anywhere on the internet. He's thrown it all into the stream and called it his miserable life.
Was up a kid, and again that leads into anger. I was very angry as a child, and the motorcycle gangs would usually the gladiators would hang out, and we would play games where they would put out cigarettes, man games. What? They'd punch each other in the arm, and whoever cried
was he 5 when this was happening too?
or yelled or whatever first would lose. So I grew up mostly around those kind of people, and that is the reason that if you've seen the photos of my back, that I look the way I do, that I'm as banged up as I am.
Then why are you such a sissy, dude? If you did any of that, you wouldn't be the sissy you are today. I mean, I played the rant at the start, but need I remind you guys?
Bring me Ethan and John. Bring them to me now.
Right. Dina says Miami Connection. It's just like every movie you've ever seen with the sob story is in this. Rainbow says motorcycle gang gladiators. Oh, I can't wait to see where this goes. Was he raised in the world of Mad Max? General Piggy, aka Bean from PA, says he has scars, Nasser. Oh my goodness. Mr. Von Stugel, Hollywood based all of those cliches off of Leo. Yoki Gum says, I am the Knight Rider.
That was normal to me. And again, the words of my father, who had left shortly thereafter, and you know, my mother, who had told me I'm the man of the house now. I was like,
I thought she didn't love you, but she also told you you're the man of the house. That doesn't make any sense.
I have to be a man. It was burned into my mind, and so I would hang out with adults. As a child, I would act as an adult. My mother was passed out quite a lot, and I would have to care for her and cook dinner and meals.
I thought you were always leaving the house because of her. Now you were taking care of her. You were cooking meals. I don't understand this. Are you still 5 years old at this point in the story?
And my little brother was just born, and I had to carry him around. I remember carrying him around.
Didn't you say your parents split? I don't understand any of this.
And he was nearly as big as I was. And, you know, I dropped him. And for the longest time, I thought that, you know, I'd made him wrong, you know, because I dropped him on his head as a child.
Liam, he's laughing about dropping his baby brother on the head. This is so insane. Oh my goodness. Amateur answers, this is so effing funny. It is funny. Sauce says, so your father left and your mother was still hanging out with the motorcycle gang? Amateur says, cooking meals at 6 years old. Art CS says, I'm sure they have different dads. Jalapeno Milk says, if I raised Liam Gray, I would have went out for cigarettes too. Stephen Rockwood says he has a little brother because his mom never stopped banging dudes. Jerry says Elma. Oh my goodness. And if you guys are enjoying this stream, if you guys are enjoying this, check out my books on Amazon. I'm putting the link here in the chat, guys. I'm 16 sales away from hitting 200 for the year. So if everybody watching just bought one book, then we'd get there. Bright says Rabadi Rough Riders. Lock it up, Inks. And how big was this baby if he was a newborn? Bob Gable says, well, he is a great storyteller.
But he's all right, and your uncle, he's a good dude. I know that he's weird. I know that he's like grumpy and difficult to get along with, but he is a good man in his heart. You know, a lot happened to him too. And we'll talk a bit about that. So, but later. So, so we grew up thinking that I should be the man of the house. And I was banged up and screwed around and in and out of places. And the only real good thing that I had growing up was my dog Tilly, who raised me more than my mother.
What?
You know? I had her from birth, you know. She was, ironically, they got her so that she would bark to notify people if anyone was getting near the plantation, the farm, whatever they would call it.
What?
And but I lived with that dog, and I remember learning to walk when I held the coat of that dog. And
learning to walk? You remember learning to walk? Does anybody remember being like 2 years old and learning how to walk? When did you learn to walk? You were 10 years old or something? I don't get this.
She was more like a mother to me than my mother.
The dog
she
was
protected
his
me
mother.
from some of the more dangerous people. growling at them. And we would go and we would hide under the house together away from everyone in a little brick outcrop. And
did it die of parvo?
And that's where and she would sit with me, and we'd sort of wait things out. So growing up, we were so poor that we couldn't afford bread.
You couldn't afford bread? You just said you guys lived on a farm. Now you can't afford bread?
Which is, funny because we live in the first world and you can barely imagine it now. But everything was going into alcohol, into drugs. There was never anything.
I don't understand this. They're alcoholics, but they run a farm, but your parents split up and they were druggies, but then they bought a dog so that it would notify anyone so it notify them if anyone was coming near the farm because they have a newborn and they don't want anyone to touch their newborn. Did they care for you or not? You just said your parents didn't care for you, but as soon as you were born, they bought you this dog.
My mother didn't go shopping. She was provided with things by various people here and there. And a lot of the time we were even outside of the city in sort of remote Indigenous communities, which is why I have as many contacts within the Indigenous and Aboriginal tribes and communities that I do.
I'm kicking this is the dog also time to cook and work on cars.
Here in the Hunter region and in the Clarence Valley, that's I grew up with them. So that's how you know them. So how that's where Auntie Shelley and everything comes from, But anyway, God, this is the hardest pit. But ultimately, after something went wrong that I don't remember. A lot of my memories are foggy.
Foggy? So what has it been foggy? Everything he just said, he just described in incredible detail. His father trying to rape his mother over a burning grill, and described trying to fight him, described all the events thereafter with drug use, not being able to get up from the floor, somehow the neighbor girl coming and taking him to the hospital. And where was the dog during all that? But I don't understand. That was also vivid, and now he's like, but as I get older, my memory, it fades. He's like, I remember being 2 years old and learning how to walk. But then he's like, oh, but my memory's vivid. Everybody's saying he just said fake. He said fake at first. He just said fake. Let me rewind it a second.
But yeah,
let's see.
God, this is the hardest pit. But ultimately, after something went wrong that I don't remember. A lot of my memories are foggy due to issues we'll talk about later on in the timeline. But I think honestly that I never really knew. I was always sort of too young, I think. But Tilly was ultimately baited. She was poisoned. It took us a few days to find her. She was ultimately locked in the boot of an old.
Who poisoned the dog? Who poisoned? Did he forget to make that up? Is that why he's like, the memory's fake? I mean, faded. Who poisoned the dog? I don't understand. Who poisoned his dog? Who poisoned the dog? I don't understand. This is every cliche ever from any movie you've ever seen thrown in. I can't. Oh my goodness, guys, this is killing me.
Of an old car, an old burned out car that was not burned out, rusted out car that was just sort of left up in the street. It took us a few houses down. It took us a long time to find her. And that was rough. That was rough for me. And again, it further cultivated a sense of of sadness and anger inside me. At the time, if you've seen photos, your mother has them. I was, again, we're out in backwater bushwater hippie.
I'm waiting for the part where Liam's kangaroos put him in their pouch and rescue him.
communities, and I would look like a little Tarzan with my long red hair
You
down
look
to
like
my
Tarzan.
midsection.
See, it's all just movies. It's all just stuff this is all just from movies.
And never had a haircut, you know, ratty old shirts. It's charming in a way, you know. And we'd ride motorbikes and stuff like that, and we had a lot of
the motorbikes come from if you were so poor you couldn't afford bread.
Adventures that, you know, like wild stuff. I got to hang out with other adults and stuff, and they treated me somewhat with respect. But when it came time to come to school, I didn't have the right mentality or attitude for it. I expected to be treated like an adult. I didn't like being told what to do. I was combative. I was very difficult as a child. I hope that that's not a quality that you inherit. Hope that you're a bit more like your mother than me. I challenged authority at nearly every turn. I was used to doing everything. My mother, you know, your grandmother, mostly slept, and so I had run of the house, and I would just watch Saturday morning cartoons on old VHS tapes that I'd tape. I had a whole bunch of old Astro Boy that I would learn to draw from, and that did a tremendous amount to shape me. Robotech, G.I. Joe, Transformers, these things which, you know, you see around you now are this monument to nerdliness is really because I couldn't afford this stuff as a child. So when I later had success in my life, I wanted to sort of have a lot of the things I didn't have.
Couldn't afford this stuff. I mean, they couldn't afford bread, but he's somehow able to watch these cartoons every morning. And didn't he say he recorded them on VHS? Where did any of this stuff come from if you guys were so poor? Amateur says, wait, what? He was doing his mom. People are pointing that out. Rainbow says he was used to doing his mother. Did I hear that right? Comic book one says boring. Amateur Ant says, wait, what? He was doing his mom. He is Ginger Christian. Oh my goodness.
To remind me what I'd been through and to see the good in things so that I could try and create more of it myself. But He-Man, things like that, they gave me the morals that I wasn't getting anywhere else, the morals that I want you to be raised with, that I hope that you can live up.
Morals? This guy doesn't have any morals.
Up to, and it seems ridiculous, I know, but it gave me a sense that there was goodness in the world. In school, I had a really hard time. I would get into fights with a lot of kids, and I'd get into fights with teachers. I was out of control. I really was.
He's 6 years old at this point, getting into fights with his teachers, getting into fist fights with them.
And it was difficult for other people to know how to handle me, you know. I didn't know how to handle myself. I would just lash out at the world whenever anything was in resistance to me, because all I knew was violence and anger, and, you know, and I expected respect. And can you imagine a 3 foot nothing little midget with long ginger hair that looks like he hasn't ever had a bath?
We don't need to imagine that. That's how you still look. Billy Basco says, justice for Nerd Wonder, respect Lidl, freedom from Manger Champ, stop grooming girls, Liam. JV says, I swear he just said last month a lot of those toys were from his childhood, mainly the He-Man stuff. Tim Chibi says, he is Romulus, shut up, Nasser, and World Star. Oh my goodness, I just can't. Oh my goodness. Let's see. When do the tears start? Says Mr. Von Stugel. Doodle Squatch says Liam is a weapon of mass destruction. Richard Pierce says liars need to have good memories.
Right. Demanding that you pay him respect with this face. Can you imagine? You know, it was laughable. And at the time, you know, someone laugh at me, I throw a chair at them. You know, it's
he's 4.5 years old and he's throwing chairs at people.
I don't care if they're a teacher or something, and it got me suspended. I got into a lot of fights. I got into a lot of problems. But even back then, silly little things like those cartoons gave me a sense of right and wrong, which, you know, it stayed with me. So when I saw kids getting picked on and stuff, I sort of would stand up for them, you know, and I would try and, you know, be a protector and be a good person. I wanted to sort of...
Does this make sense to anybody else? I can't follow any of this. He describes himself as being like 5 different characters.
I wanted to sort of be liked, and
you wanted to be liked?
I didn't.
You just said you were a rebel. How were you a rebel? And then you're like, oh, I want to be liked. I don't get it. I don't get any of this. He just keeps contradicting himself. Oh my goodness.
I want to be angry. I never did. And one of those guys that I protected, James, if Uncle James is still around, he gave me one of those.
Every person in his life just became an uncle. I don't understand. He says this about every person in the story. He's like, yeah, Uncle James, Uncle Billy, Aunt Jill, whoever. Like all these people became aunts to your fake children.
Little monster in my pocket figures for protecting him, and I didn't have toys as a kid, so that was sort of one of my first ever toys. Is this little rubber purple panther, and a little winged purple panther, and I kept it. I still have it. It's sitting there in a little plastic case, so that had great meaning to me. You know, I know it's silly, but I held on to it. I'm very sentimental. When things are hard and there's not a lot of nice stuff around, the things that are nice, and when people do good things for you, it means a lot more to you. At least for me, it did. So that's, again, why I've got all those old boxes of letters and stuff from old authors that, you know, I would have correspondence with and stuff instead of throwing them out. And some of those, by the way, are probably worth money because they're from very famous authors. So he's
not going to name any of them. Yeah, Liam was corresponding with world famous authors, and he didn't learn to be a good writer from any of it. He had so much correspondence with good authors. Like who? And he has no connections? If he has all this valuable correspondence, why aren't you friends with them? Why don't they promote you? None of this makes any sense to me. I don't get any of this. Jalapeno Milk says this is a chair throwing guy. Larry Romano says he still wants to be liked. Poor Liam. JV says, Nasser, this is where we get into the Roadhouse Liam Defender of the Week. JV says, show the freaking letters. Famous authors like Moses. Very valuable letters. Big Daddy says, all this did was prove how pathetic Liam truly is. He is a mockery of a man. Billy said, he said the toys behind him he says from when he was a kid. Liar. Says Stephen King wrote, don't write me again, Mr. Graham. Please contact a therapist.
Would not just throw those out, by the way. There's the guy that the guy who they ripped off Terminator from. You know, he's
who did they rip off Terminator from? I don't understand. But also, man, we're not even half an hour in. There's over 2 hours more of the stream. What more could Excuse me, guys. What more could he say in all this? Bob Gable says, at least show it on YouTube. Might be interesting. He doesn't have any of it. General Piggy, a.k.a. Bean from PA, says the Diary of Liam Gray.
I have no mouth, yet I must scream. We went back and forth for a long time. He was a very dear friend to me. And I probably got about 30.
Oh, this must be somebody that's dead. So that way we couldn't ask them on Twitter, like, is any of this true? Because there's nobody that could answer it. But we all know it's fake.
Letters from him. They're all signed and stuff. So, and they're all typed out from his old typewriter. So, you know, don't throw this out. Don't, like, look over who everyone I've been in talks with is before you go getting rid of my junk. So basically, I had a hard time in school. I was too smart for my own good, you know. But I thought
too smart for your own good.
I thought that, you know,
how you said you hated school and you hated being told what to do and you hated learning, but now you were really smart.
Thought that just because I could do things, I should. I never really. I went where I wanted. I did what I wanted, and it was not a good quality. It made me very popular, actually, in early school.
Made you popular? Didn't he say earlier he didn't have friends?
You know, being a jackass.
Like, he said he didn't have friends in school. He's like, oh, I hung out with the adults. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Being mean, being a smart ass, makes you popular. Ellison, it's the shortcut to success, but it's also very damaging. Ghost right Young Justice once. So especially kids. So don't be an asshole. I know that sometimes your sister thinks that being a mean girl is cool. And
only 64. I told you, bro, this is going to be a 4-hour EFAP. It might be. Oh my goodness. Stephen Rockwood says, if his daughter ever watches this, she turns it off 10 minutes in because it's so absurd. Terminator was stolen from Harlan Ellison from his Outer Limits episode. He probably wrote letters to Bigfoot too, says Rainbow. Oh my goodness. You guys are just killing me with all your comments. Dina says, didn't he say his teacher said he is going to grow up to be a criminal? JV says, gonna get JDA or EVS in here. If they show up, I mean, look, I'll tell them, because John's like, why are you streaming over Mr. Medicare? And I was like, well, he says you're streaming over Jim. I said, who? He's like, Medicare, he's alive. I said, I don't know who that is, but we've got 50 people in here. John, the chat is actually asking for you now. And EVS too. There we go. I let them know, you guys. They have the link. It's in the green room. So they can buy if they want to. Billy, you're in the green room. You come on if you want. Billy says, I like the one where he saves a community center with his friends through the magic of urban dance. Yeah. Then he got a girl pregnant. All true things. Oh my goodness. The Reddit Silver member says Medicare is streaming. Oh no, not everybody's going to go watch Medicare. Oh no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. All right, let's continue this.
Plays into all of that superficial stuff. I really don't want you to be that way. You know, I think that superficiality is really bad, right? I think that we should care about things of substance and not try and just. Anyway, sorry, I'm staying on track. So, I'm trying to remember sort of the poignant bits.
Oh, he's trying to remember the next
lifetime of junk and sort of unpacking it all and letting you know what happens. So yeah, we bounced around foster care for a really long time, and
foster care. How does he bounce around foster care? He was just saying he grew up being the man of the house and taking care of his mother and his brother and whoever else and the dogs. But now he's in foster care. He can't keep track of his own lies.
We ultimately were going back and forth with our parents in and out. My father had moved on. He'd said that I was the man of the house. And basically I was taking care of, you know, your grandmother as a child. It was very strange. We ended up getting put into foster care, but I would tell your uncle that basically to be just a hellion, to be bad. And we were good at being bad. You know, that's what we were. We were the bad kids. So
this is so cringe. Nobody says, hey, let's be the bad kids. They're just the bad kids.
Throwing forks in microwaves, like, you know, putting sugar and stuff in people's gas tanks, like just stupid kid stuff, but that just made being around us hell, you know, like, you know, it was shit. It was bad. But at the time I thought all we had was each other. And they were trying to take us away from each other. They would put us in different homes and stuff. And so the only way we could get back together, and that's all we had, you know, was each other, was to be assholes. in the end, we're able to get put back with our mother because she was moving through to Port Macquarie for to partake in rehabilitation. She moved to a trailer park there. While in this trailer park, she relapsed rather quickly, and she abandoned my brother and I for about 2.5 weeks.
Stephen Rockwood says, even if all this stuff was true, why would you ever tell your kid? Right. And look, how is she going to hear any of it? It's unlisted. Guys, it's right below the title, The Life of Liam, right below it. It says unlisted. How is she going to find this? I don't understand. So I'm making fun. This is so emotional. Says Homo Ludens. Yoki Gum says, think this is scary. And then he posts a link to my book. So check that out, please, guys. Foster home raising his family with his dog. The Reddit Silver member says, this is funnier than Medicare. I'll stay here. Sugar and gas tanks. Gigadeath says. Let's see. Jay Solano 405 says, I thought he learned morals from He-Man. Right. Didn't he say that earlier? He's like, oh yeah, He-Man taught me to have morals. And now he's like, oh, I was just putting sugar in gas tanks. Ha ha ha. Oh my goodness. Liam was one of the Lost Boys to Stephen Rockwood. Big Daddy says this is a public therapy session and he didn't even pay us. I feel gifted. Oh no, he says I feel grifted rather. Amateur Ann says Liam will be the best dad ever while he continues to lie to his unborn child. He said this. Dude, since last year, he's like, oh, the baby's coming any day now, and he's still saying this. This baby's gonna be like 5 years old before it's born. Let's see. Billy says, how did he hold on to all the toys from his childhood if he was in and out of foster care and homeless? Oh my goodness. That says, I think putting a fork in a microwave can get you life without parole. Dina says, I read similar but better biography. It's Julian Assange's story. Richard Pierce says, somebody had sex with this man. No, it's completely fake. This guy says he has a child on the way. I don't believe it at all. There's no way. JV says, I keep saying Liam is the best show not on Adult Swim right now. Mr. Wu says, fake story. Have I send employee break leg now? You go listen. He hack Liam router get info. Gigadev says, I want to see the baby beat him up and join the game.
At the time, I was old enough that I was able to maintain the sort of the trailer. So I was able to take care of Dwayne, pack his lunches, and pack my own lunches and keep us going to school on the bus each day. We ran out of food pretty quickly, but I knew how to use a screwdriver, and I would break into the old canteen by unscrewing the doors that were on at the trailer park, and we would take twisties and various other things, chips. And then
yeah, Vic's in the chat. Vic, you could get on the stream if you want, man. Vic says his girl has been preggo for over a year now. I was just saying that, Vic. Vic, back when we were doing Asile, back during that campaign, Liam was like, oh, I have a pregnant wife and the baby's due any day now and I don't need all this drama. Like, he was saying that back then, dude. He was saying that back then. And he's still saying it now. Oh my god. Dina says, I would run away if Liam is my dad. JP says him and his brother later escaped the foster home by shooting at a small thermal exhaust port. Steven says he knew how to use a screwdriver. Is there anyone on earth who doesn't? I can't wait to the part where he joins Mensa. Yuki Gub, he went from Jungle Book to Oliver Twist. Oh my goodness, you guys. Will we get through all of this? We've still got over 2 hours to go of this EFAP. I don't even know, you guys. I don't even know. You guys, send me, guys. I need some super chats, guys. Send some super chats so we could justify going longer. Let me continue this.
And I would put it back and screw it back on, and then that's how we would eat. Of course, I'm sure now looking back on it that there were video surveillance and people had to know that we were doing this. I found out pretty quickly.
Not the father, fake baby.
Because again, after about 2.5 weeks of my mother not being there.
Can we get hashtag not the father in the chat? Let's see, hashtag not the father. Everyone post it. Hashtag not the father.
Of course, I didn't know about paying rent or anything like that as a child, so obviously that wasn't happening.
Dina says, "Get Uncle
again,
and
child services shows up.
They all have the link. They come in if they
and
want.
They try and take us
Oz
from
is the
school,
father?
actually. So they come to our class, and
Thank
I
you, Yucky
realize
Gum, for the
immediately when they
$1.49
come
super
from
sticker.
me that they're also going to be coming from my little brother, and I'm in the primary school
yep.
and he's in the infant school. So I bolt, I book it, I jump through just a window, just a one-story window. I head out. I try and get to the infant school in time, like, because it was one school, it was just 2 segments, you know. And I get over there and I find out that they already took him about half an hour ago. So I lose my shit. I absolutely lose my shit at this point, and I stab the female teacher in the hand with a compass.
Wait, what? Did he just say he stabbed his female teacher? Let me rewind this.
School in time, like,
Wait, he
it
just
was
said he was a good student like 2 minutes ago. Now he's stabbing teachers.
one school, it was just 2 segments, you know. And I get over there and I find out that they already took him about half an hour ago. So I lose my shit. I absolutely lose my shit at this point, and I stab the female teacher in the hand with a compass.
So much for the morals he got from He-Man.
And spit in her face and call her a filthy whore. And then I get my ass thoroughly beaten.
I can't believe this dude. I have nothing to say to any of this. General Piggy, thank you for $4.99. Says The Ballad of Liam Gray, an excellent read. Richard Pierce, thank you for the $1.49 super sticker. He was 12, says Bob Gable. With a compass is Gigadeath. I think he means the compass, like that thing you used in geometry, like the pencil compass thingy that you used to draw circles and stuff. I think that's what he means by compass. Dina says, why would his daughter want to learn this? And Bob Gable says he's laughing. Oh my goodness, I got nothing to say to that.
By the teacher next door. Like the guy that was there. He sort of tackles me down, beats me, knocks me around a bit. I end up biting him in the wrist so that he will let go of me.
Sticker. What's the sticker? Let me go to the YouTube part and see. The YouTube tab, I mean. Oh, it's a laughing lemon. Well, thank you, Jalapeno Milk, for the $10 super sticker. Dina says we know he hate women. JV says, because they said the kid that just stabbed someone, they took your brother, looks at clock a half hour ago. Again, too much detail because it's fake.
I take off and I hit the street. I run down. I jump over the school fence. Back then, school fences weren't like they are now, where they're like 5 foot high, black bar gates. They would just be these small wire.
Are you talking about prison
fences that would come up to like your hip, right? If you're an adult, they're only very small. So I just jumped that and I hit the highway. And in my childlike stupidity, I head down. I sort of dodge a few streets because I know that they'll be looking for me. And I make my way back down to the highway where I think I'll be able to hitchhike up because I'm
bring on Vicky and Soy Rage. Says comic book. I think Soy Rage is asleep right now. I mean, I'll invite Vicky on. Let me Vic, nice to see you, man. How's it going?
Dude, look, I was like, I'm not gonna come on. I'm not. I'm tired. I had to move everything out of my room, then move everything back into my room.
Oh, is this one of Liam's stories?
No, because I got electricity. I'm out of the cave age, the Stone Age. So,
okay.
But then you go and you tell me this. You play this shit where he's saying that he like stabbed his female teacher through the hand with a compass.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, those are sharp, right?
Yeah.
But that takes a lot of effort to try and put that through somebody's hand.
Yeah, I remember like in elementary school having those compass thingies, and I would sometimes like cut the edge of paper with it. And like that thing, those things were so dull. It would take a lot of effort to cut paper. I couldn't imagine stabbing somebody in the hand. And he's like, "Yeah, I was 8 years old when I did this."
And how just like deadpan he says it too, just totally deadpan, like nothing.
Why is that important? This is supposed to be his life story to his daughter that's been in the womb for about 19 or 20 months now.
Yeah.
and
yeah,
and that's what's important.
This goes back to easily. This goes back. I would say that he was talking about her being pregnant back in September or even August of last year. So, 12 months, 13 months.
Right.
I mean, how far along was she when she got pregnant? It was like
Mr. Dog says, wait, I thought Nasser was the animal abuser. Now it's Liam. So how old is he when he stabbed his teacher in the hand and hitchhiked? I don't know. By the way his timeline is going, he's like 7 years old by the time he does that. Rainbow says, share the link to the video. I want to download this. Yeah, here, let me get it copied. Hold on, wait, wrong tab, sorry. Okay, now I got it copied, and let me put it here in the chat. He made this unlisted, Vic. I don't know if you caught that. I've stressed this so many times. This is for his future daughter, and it's unlisted. How is she gonna find it? I don't understand. The kid is in the 5th trimester.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my goodness. Big Daddy says Liam is far crazier than any of us realize. JV says, yeah, people were saying she was pregnant for 10 months, 6 months ago.
Right, exactly.
Billy says, Liam, I know you can. Welcome, Ethan.
Hey, is Liam okay?
No, he's not okay, Ethan. He started up this stream, right? And it's called The Life of Liam, A Letter to L. I guess his child that's been unborn for about 2 years now, Ethan, he wants to write a letter to her. And he starts off the stream saying, I've got a diagnosis. I don't think I have much time left. And he doesn't say what he got diagnosed with. And
AIDS.
And then he starts saying the wildest stuff. Like, it's pretty heavy stuff. Like, he's like, when I was 4 years old, my dad tried to rape my mom over a hot grill. And then I stood up to him and got in a fist fight with him, and he beat me. And I was on the floor and couldn't move. And mind you, he's 4 years old during all this. And then he says later, I was on the couch with my mom, and she was smoking marijuana. And the neighbor girl came over to visit because she was my best friend. And I was 4, and she took me to the hospital. I'm like, how do you remember any of this if you're 4?
That's weird, man. He beat his dad's ass when he was 4.
Yeah.
No, he says
his dad beat his ass. Oh,
he wasn't quite big enough yet. It was the following year that he took a compass and stabbed it through the hand of his teacher.
What the hell is going on here?
Amateur and thank you for $2. Liam's woman is Bonnie from Family Guy, right? Because she's always pregnant. But then Ethan, the thing he just said when he was in presumably elementary school, I don't know, because he didn't say how old he was. He said that he got mad at his teacher, so he took a compass and stabbed her through the hand, and then he laughed maniacally about it.
Did anyone ever pick? I mean, I know you guys watch Liam carefully. Did anyone ever sense there might be something wrong with him?
I knew that from the first time I ever talked with this guy. I was like, this guy's creepy. There's something wrong with him. And I didn't think it was this severe. I just thought, well, this guy's just kind of weird. I just don't want to, befriend him. Like, he kept trying to be my friend. He kept messaging me on Facebook, kept trying to be cool with me, and then kept telling me about his books. But I just knew there was something creepy about him. I couldn't put my finger on it.
Yeah, me too. I sensed there was something a little amiss. I didn't know what. I didn't know it was like this.
I think we were all just scared of being, labeled xenophobes. We just wanted to give the Australian a chance, but, We kind of picked the wrong Australian.
Because I mean, he kind of like he approaches you like Ethan. I assume he approached you like he approached me. He's like, "Oh, hey, I'm conservative too, and you know, I'm CG, and you know, I'm planning to do a book." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, man." And then like the more he talks to you, the more like he started telling me, "Okay, this is probably one of the first things." He's like, "Oh yeah, I ghost wrote for J.M. DeMatteis. I don't know how you say that dude's name. This comic book writer." He's like, "Yeah, I ghost wrote for him," and I was like, no, you didn't though. Like it's a comic book. It's not like we're talking about like R.L. Stein. You know, he puts out a Goosebumps book every month and a Fear Street book every month, and there's a lot of speculation that he ghostwrites because he's put out hundreds of books. It's not like that. It's like it's a comic book. Like you don't necessarily need a ghostwriter for a comic book, let alone a big name. And they're gonna go with Liam.
Yeah.
And when he started saying stuff like that, I was just like, yeah, this dude's a creep. And he,
you know how when you plop like a cookie. Like an unbaked cookie down on a cookie sheet. It's nice and round and everything. It's a shape, but then you cook it and it melts and flattens out.
Yeah.
And becomes kind of a flattened, wider circular shape.
Yes.
I just feel like Liam's face started out as Eric Stoltz, and then you baked it, and it, you know, you pulled it out. You're like, this doesn't. I don't know. His head is really upsetting. All right, so anyway, I don't know what's going on. I would like to hear some of this.
Yeah, let me continue it. So he's just gone over how he stabbed the teacher in the hand.
Mick, who is your other uncle's father, you know, the guy that died hitchhiking. Ironically, we had done a lot of that up and down the coast. So
why is that ironic?
I don't understand where he found time to fit that in, Ethan, because if you go back and watch this, he says he spent his childhood taking care of his mother and little brother, but then he says he was always in and out of foster homes, and then somehow now he's hitchhiking? I can't follow any of this.
Yeah, but he said ironically we did a bunch of that. Like, why is it ironic to?
Oh, because he said that his unborn child's uncle died from hitchhiking somehow. I don't know. Someone murdered him. He got hit by a truck. I don't know.
Yes, but you're not following anything I'm saying. Why is it ironic? You know, irony is, you know, it's funny because
no, I know it's not ironic. I was just saying that's why he's saying it's ironic.
My entire family was born without thumbs, and yet ironically, we hitchhike. You know what I mean? Like that's like that would be irony. Like I don't understand why him and his family hitchhiking is ironic. You know?
Yeah.
We've got 700 automobiles, but ironically, my family hitchhikes a lot. That's irony. You can't just say ironically. All right, sorry.
No, it's all right.
I was hitchhiking trying to get back to the trailer. Eventually, I was able to get back there, but you know, my brother was gone. I didn't know what to do, and I locked myself in the trailer. I sort of barred it all up, and I just sort of stayed in there for a while. The people came over, but for whatever reason, maybe they were sympathetic to the situation. They didn't break in or anything like that, or they didn't do more than sort of rattle the door and yell at me to come out. I would squeeze out the back when they were around the other side, and then I'd run off. I'd hide in the public toilets area, not letting them know that I wasn't in there and stuff like that. And I just sort of kept.
Even everything he has said on this stream is just like the dumbest cliches you've ever seen in a movie, all thrown into his life story. So now Liam is like this stealthy, like ninja, like master, like these people, like he boarded up the trailer windows and doors, and these people are trying to get him out of there, but they can't see him or hear him sneak out of some back door. And where did he say he ran and hid, like in a porta potty?
Yeah, I'm not really following anything that he's talking about.
You missed a lot of the good parts. There was a lot of good stuff at the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has why is it unlisted? Oh, it's unlisted, but yeah, somebody should obviously record this. This is strange.
Yeah, somebody in the chat asked for the link earlier because he said he wants to download it. So yeah, I put the link in the chat. You know, I'll get it copied and put it again in the chat. It's also on Kiwi Farms if anybody wants a link to this. That's where I found the link. So here it is in the chat. Here it is. So yeah, if you guys want to go get it, let's see what else he's saying.
I mean, his face is the
Get that
melted
up.
cookie of Danny Partridge. Like, that's what he looks like. He does look like a melted cookie of somebody. Okay, sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, you weren't interrupting. I think it lagged or something, so I was accidentally talking over you. So that was my bad.
For a while, until eventually I was seized. Because I'd still continue to attend school, I was trying to maintain a sense of normalcy in my life, and I would get bored sitting at home alone all day. Back then, all I had were the old He-Man comic books that I'd been given from other children that I'd sort of stuck up for at school. The little mini comics that come with the figures, and a set of old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle trading cards.
So he said he was homeless at some point, Ethan, and then these things that he keeps saying he got these things in childhood. He's like, I've kept them till this day. But I don't understand how he would have done any of that if he was homeless.
Yeah, it's hard to, when you move around a lot. When I've moved around quite a bit, I always get rid of a lot of stuff, you know. So it's hard to hang on to the things from your childhood when you move and you're homeless, especially when you're homeless.
But I've lived in the same house my entire life, and I have like nothing from my childhood, like all these like toys, even toys that had meaning to me. Like they're all gone. They must have been thrown away or something. Like I don't understand. Huh?
Nothing.
Oh.
I said I stole them.
Come in the back.
Oh.
Stole your toys.
Aw. You have my Scooby-Doo pillow.
Thank you.
Cereals, and were put onto a poster. I have a few of those cards left, but the poster's long gone. So if you find, you're thinking, why is Liam keeping this weird junk in a box? This is the relevance of all of it. So eventually we're taken in by child services. We're brought in and we're put into foster care again. The same routine goes as normal. We're kept separate.
Ethan, if you were to make a video like this for somebody in your life, and you're like, this is my life story, you know, and I want to tell this to you, would you be telling them any of this? Like, just so strangely the way he's putting it. Like he doesn't make any sense, and he doesn't give a timeline at all. He's gone from telling stories when he was 4 to presumably being a teenager or something. Then he goes back to being like 2 years old, which he said when he was 2, he remembered learning to walk because his dog taught him. I'm not even making that up, Ethan. He said his dog raced him and taught him how to walk.
This really is like the type of video that first of all, if I found out that I was dying and I wanted to make a video for Ava, you know, to find out who I was, I wouldn't blast it as a live stream on the internet. It would be for Ava. I'd make it privately. I'd give it to Andrea and say, please let Ava watch this when she's old enough.
And it probably wouldn't be something that was so depressing that your child would watch for themselves. This
video is the type of video that that you make when just before you're arrested for fucking dogs. You know, it's like you go, well, I was caught chopping off the heads of dogs and fucking their neck holes. Let me excuse you might have the wrong impression of me, but let me tell you how I got here. You know, it's like I went through hell, blah, blah, blah. Like this is that type of video. The video that you make because you're dying, you want to leave it to your daughter. First of all, it's private. It's not for the internet. And second of all, it's, you know, mostly comprised of, you know, daddy loves you. He wants you to go to school, wants you to make something of yourself. Right. You know, don't get mistreated by men. Wow. And raise a family and just know I'm watching you from heaven and I love you. And that's what it should be. This is just fucking weird.
And it goes in the face of what he's told everybody in the past, which is I was left on the side of the road. A biker gang picked me up and raised me. I used to have to fight with the dogs to get dog food out of the dog bowl.
Yeah,
to eat. You know, which is it, Liam? Which
Daddy was a weirdo. I mean, is what we're trying to say. Like Daddy's dead, and it's kind of a good thing that he is because he was a fucking weirdo. And he probably would have ruined you. So, anyway.
It's so strange because on this stream, he said, yeah, my dad beat me. And then he said, my dad left. And then he said, but also, when I was born, my parents bought me this dog to protect me. But then he also said, my parents never loved me. Neither of them loved me. And I'm like, so neither of them ever loved you, but they bought you this dog to protect you and be your friend. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like he's taking these cliches from movies, but he doesn't know how to fit them together. And he just keeps saying stupid stuff.
But think of this, right? If his woman, right, his wifey, has been pregnant for 18 months, how long is Liam's death going to take? You know?
I hope it's quick and painless and he doesn't suffer.
Yeah, that's kind of you, Nasser. I think that was the right thing to say.
Yeah, I mean, Liam, if you're dying,
make it quick.
I hope it. I hope you just get it over with, man. I hope you don't feel any pain.
Yeah,
I hope it's
in Jesus' mercy, I pray that you are removed from this earth suddenly, like a piano falling on you would be good. Just like end it quickly. Why suffer? Why drag it out? Why make more videos?
Right. Dear Lord Jesus, I pray for Liam Gray's soul, and if you're going to take him, I hope you do it soon. Tonight sounds good, and just peacefully in his sleep. I think that's how we all kind of want to go.
Yeah,
Amen.
That was amen. That was nice of you.
Yeah, let's continue this.
They promised me that they're going to let me see my brother and that they're going to be putting us back together eventually, but they don't. So I continue to escalate my behavior. At this point, they were finding it difficult to find homes that would actually take us, and they were trying to avoid putting us in juvenile.
So what he's saying, for anybody that's lost, he's expanding on something from earlier. He said, and it wasn't too long after saying he got all his morals from He-Man. He said, me and my brother were in separate foster homes, and the only way they'd let us see each other for some reason is if they were troublemakers. So they would somehow get together, even though they weren't allowed to see each other, and decide to do bad things. And he was like, we put sugar in people's gas tanks. And
that's from the Charlie Chaplin story. That's interesting.
Huh.
Same thing happened to Charlie Chaplin and his brother when they were separated. Interesting. Anyway, yeah. Heroic.
Attention, because we were very, very young. I think I was about 7 or so at the time at most. And so they went and put us in a church group, and with like a church family. And this was my first exposure to Christianity. Now, I've tried very hard to stop swearing. I'm not great at it because this is how I've always been. It's a very bad habit, and I hope that you're more like your mother than me.
Me too.
They didn't allow cussing.
No, I don't. I don't hope that, because then she's gonna, get pregnant by a big fat Australian idiot who dissembles all over the internet. I think it'd be better if she grows up to be more like me.
I think so too. I think everybody should be more like you. In fact, if I were, if I found out I was dying, if I got diagnosed with the mystery disease that Liam won't specify what he has. I mean, he's like, daughter, I'm dying. I got diagnosed, but it's not important, with what. But if I got the diagnosis he got, and I left this video, I think I would probably leave it for my nephew, and I'd probably say something like, this is gonna be funny. Ironically, my nephew's name is also Liam. I'm not even kidding. I have a nephew named Liam. But if I were to tell my nephew Liam I was dying, I would say in the video, there's a man named Ethan Van Sciver, and I think he is a great role model, and I would be so happy watching you from heaven if you were to grow up to be like Ethan Van Sciver. That's what I would tell my nephew.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Yo,
welcome to DA Talks.
What are we doing?
Dean, didn't you know Liam's dying?
Vicky, I was just talking to her. She told me that Liam says he has cancer.
Well, I'm sorry you were talking to Vicky, but yeah,
me too.
Liam, he doesn't specify that it's cancer. He just starts us off with, I got a diagnosis and I'm gonna die. So, and then he starts this thing off like he's like less than 3 minutes in, and and this is for his supposed daughter that's never gonna meet him, and he starts off saying something like, I hope this helps you understand why I'm such a big pussy. And that's how he starts this thing off. Like, why would you say that?
Yeah, well, I think it's because Medicare returned, right? And Medicare's
a big pussy.
Yeah, sure.
People in the chat are saying Medicare just took his live stream down. Sorry.
Oh, that sucks.
JV says DA is the worst. Can we kick him?
This should be Liam could just sum it all up like this.
No, fuck you! I don't know which one of you pieces of shit did this, but I've been good to you, and you pay me back with nonstop ass rape! Well, fuck off!
That's basically all of Liam's videos. Varying levels of passive aggressive, but
holy shit!
I feel like they like lead into that. It's not just like 100 right off the bat, but yeah, it always does end up like that. Yeah,
that's how he feels.
Oh yeah.
Vicky says check your DMs. She sent me a link to some Google Drive video or something. It says Liam and cancer. I will pull that up if you guys want to entertain the chat real quick while I get this pulled up.
No.
Okay, DA.
Absolutely not.
All right, I got it pulled up. I got it pulled up. I'll share my screen now.
I like how nobody went for it.
It's all right. It's all right. All right, here we go. So I guess this is called Liam and cancer.
Until this stuff was happening, like in a long time afterwards, like I would, because I was constantly scared of shit. Like I was constantly like, if I wouldn't just walk to the mall, when I was in the mall, I would like walk down the street and I would like be looking in my reflection. I would be looking in the windows at my reflection to make sure no one's going to come up behind me. I would be making sure that when my friends are getting, you know, like froyo, I would be standing there watching them to make sure that nothing happened to them. Like I'd be constantly just thinking that we're.
Imagine needing this guy to protect you.
Oh my god.
In a state of war all the time, and you know, that was me, and you can't live that way all the time. You know, you can't be eternally vigilant. You've got to be vigilant by all means. Don't like you have to be vigilant. Without that, you won't have your liberty. But you can't be on all the time. You need to relax. It's like your mum says, got to relax, Liam. So learn from that. Again, be like your mother, don't be like me. But yeah, I had the aneurysm. And
what, DA? Were you saying something?
I'm just curious now. This is like a serious question. It's a dilemma. Do I hope that Liam doesn't have cancer, or do I hope that Liam wouldn't lie about having cancer? Oh God.
And do you think when his mother was telling him to just relax, that he actually stopped hitting her?
Jesus.
Jesus. I hope he's not lying about it, and if he really does have cancer, I hope it's quick and painless.
Yeah, but like if he's not lying about it, that's like also hoping that he has. Like I'm that's a serious question.
Caught between a rock and a hard place there, Dean.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, why don't you try doing what I do, which is to just not give a shit either way? How's that feel?
Oh, that's a lot better. Thanks, Ethan.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Let me.
Well, if it's ball cancer, we might have found the cure for it. Comicsgate, you know, we might have actually helped him out inadvertently in advance.
And I was in hospital undergoing recovery, and one of the things I did was I would play the Nintendo 3DS that's in the box, and it had a bunch of puzzle games in it, mind things, and it was hard for me to do Mario because I couldn't focus on doing the jumps or anything like that, and I'd always loved Mario, but like I could do these puzzles, so I just did a bunch of Sudoku and shit like that, you know. I just did a ton of puzzles for
What's
months.
Sudoku? Is that math?
Yes. Sudoku is actually, I think that's when they kill, like the samurais kill themselves. It's definitely that.
Oh, that's cool. That's the game. That's the game.
Yeah,
where you
it's
have
that
like
number game
that
that
number
old
game.
women play. You know, like
Yeah.
It just makes you want to commit seppuku.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I was able to make a recovery. I was able to get through it, and it was a miracle. I was very, very lucky. The only thing that happened was huge portions of my
I
memory.
know what Sudoku is. Chat. It was a joke. I was joking. Okay, good. Everybody's telling me in the chat.
We're gone, and the doctor said that I need to keep myself in a low stress environment, or else there could be risk of another tear, and I would probably die at that point. So I've tried to keep myself relatively chilled out, but I don't always succeed. I've got a lot of bad habits. But now I guess that doesn't even fucking matter, right? It's
nope.
I'll tell you what, girl. I am a student of irony, and don't let anyone tell you that your father couldn't laugh at himself, because the fact that I would fucking,
Wait, is he counting himself out already?
Yeah. I am. I'm with him.
Jeez.
Again, he's a student of irony. Look at him laughing. I love Liam's face. But he's a student of irony. It's like, it's ironic because, I wasn't supposed to die, but then I did.
It's like rain on a wedding day. I get it. Yeah.
Isn't it ironic?
Liam.
Look at his little face. I mean, big face.
Yeah, nothing little about that guy.
You guys remember that picture of him from one of his videos in the treehouse when you could see the back of his head and there's that.
Oh yeah.
He probably has brain cancer.
How? Jesus. How does somebody get rolls on the back of their head though? Yeah.
And he was looking straight too. It's not like he was looking up or something.
Neck fat cancer.
Right.
There is no cure for neck fat cancer. It's just terminal.
Let me continue this because I guess he's supposed to admit at some point in this he has cancer. I guess according to the title and to Vicky. So let's see.
Fucking cancer.
Oh, there he says it.
Of the nuts, man.
Wait, what? He's cancer of the nuts?
I always thought he was ballless. Oh, that's.
Yeah.
It's comedy gold, really.
If you guys had cancer, would you be laughing like this? My balls have cancer.
Well, if it was ironic,
Yeah, and it is ironic.
No, people do die from testicular cancer, but
no, they don't. They just they go bicycle riding in France. That's all.
People live too. Many people live.
No, but I'm just saying, if you found out you had penis cancer or something, you wouldn't be in a video like this laughing. I mean, Vic, I can't ask you that. I mean, you wouldn't know. You don't have any. But DA, I mean, what would you be laughing, crying? What would you?
I definitely wouldn't be talking. I wouldn't. I would probably go do something fun. I wouldn't do this. I mean,
right.
But that's me. I don't know. Fuck.
It's the doctor. The doctor would probably said, it is a little bit ironic, isn't it? And Liam said, what do you mean ironic? He's like, because ironic cut off these nuts right now.
Vicky says he's not laughing. It's the lag. He starts choking up. Well, I don't know. Looks like laughing. And this does not look like choking up, but let's see. Let me continue.
We'll see.
To everything else, that's the thing.
Liam's like, I didn't even get a chance to use them yet.
I hope you can laugh, because it doesn't get better than that. That's just fucking.
I feel like it does.
I hope it does.
Yeah. If that's the best it gets, fucking kill me. Hopefully not through ball cancer.
So I went on, and I was involved in a lot of stupid shenanigans.
I met your mother. We
Oh, wait. Oh, it's a message to his unborn, like his kid that's yet to be born. What?
Yeah.
What?
And it's
Oh,
unlisted.
sorry.
So she'll
I'm
never
just
be able to
hopping
see
in.
it.
This is like the first I'm really hearing. What the fuck?
But it's also for us, you know. It's all,
Yeah, I mean, it is. Like, you put it on you. Like, what a weird place to put this. What a weird place to put this.
That poor child is 10 months overdue. It's a tragedy.
The worst part of this is that everything on his shelf seems to be laughing at him. You know, it's like
they're celebrating.
Yeah, like Fozzie's like, yeah, waka waka. You know, back there.
And that T-Rex, it's letting out a victory scream.
Yeah.
Billy Basco says, hopefully he has the strength left in him in these final moments to print another book backwards.
Yeah, I backed Wonder Island. I hope I get it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You get like it's like as somebody once as somebody told me if you had the chance to back Sonichu or any art by Chris Chan, would you have done it? Yeah, totally. Well, this is like a similar it could be a similar situation one day.
Yeah, I think people should probably back the book, back Boy Island. You know, it's might be the last time.
Yeah, and I mean, God, he better still come through with this book. Dude. I don't care if it kills him.
Yeah.
If the cancer don't get
Mother
you,
was selling Karate Kid. She was selling the Karate Kid DVD, and as you know, I have a huge library of. Please don't destroy all my DVD.
What?
Well, nobody's going to destroy your DVDs, but the doctor is going to destroy DVDs nuts. Thank you.
He'll be here all stream.
Yeah, I'm just doing D's nuts jokes all night, everyone.
Wasn't somebody triggered at you for doing that on Twitter? I saw something about that. Like you said, a D's nuts joke.
Yeah, I've been doing D's nuts jokes all day. Somebody's like, "You're 46 years old. You're doing D's nuts jokes." That's silly.
Snyder.
Yeah.
At least you're not doing jokes about Bofa.
Both of these nuts in your mouth.
Or both of these nuts of Liam's that are going to get cut off.
Yeah. What? Somebody said, "Are you coming to SackCon?" And I said, "Yeah, so that you can sack on these nuts." All right.
Like a sailor, it was natural for me to do so. I found it difficult to sort of integrate there, and I found them to be stuffy and awkward and annoying, and a lot of the discipline and the lessons that they were giving me, things that I'm trying to pass to you, are things that at the time I wholesale rejected because I was young and I thought they were stupid. So if you feel the same way, if you think that I'm an idiot or that...
and anybody's going to watch this and they're going to say, yeah, this guy's retarded.
It's for his kid, though. I mean, come on now. Please.
No, this isn't for his kid. If this was for his kid, it'd be private. But I mean, now it's private, it's unlisted, I just keep laughing at that. But no, this isn't for his kid. He wanted to put on a show. He wanted to make people sympathetic. Like, I've had a tough life. Please back my book. Please. Like, that's the only reason he put this out. Even if he hasn't mentioned his book in it, that's the only reason I could see why he would do something like this. I mean, he's mentally ill. He's bleeding friends. I mean, didn't he just break up with Micah Cactus? And he just wants people to feel sorry for him. Determined Sheepy, thank you for $2. Says, put Vicky on as a opposing critic. We got to discuss. Well, Vicky could come on. She has the link. I think she does. I sent it to you, Vicky, didn't I? You can come on if you want. What was that?
Liam has he's actually got stage 4 ligma.
Ligma nuts.
Ligma nuts. Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that Liam's going to be dying this soon because I was hoping he'd have a chance to meet this person, Nasser.
No, I added it.
Okay, Katie Sackhoff. Sackhoff these. All right, sorry.
Big Daddy says Nasser needs to hire Manger Chan to draw creepsters, save her, Nasser. Well, not creepsters, but I'll hire her for something and save her from Leon.
Manger.
Oh boy! All right, let's continue this.
I'm too stuffy or I'm not fun, and I want you to understand that that's why. I felt the same way. But as you get older, it makes more sense. When you understand the world a little bit better, a lot of this stuff that, seems all prissy and lame, it's for a good reason. So in the end, I took the young girl's hamsters that were there,
put them in my rear end,
and
Is it gonna end like the duckling story? Do the hamsters die?
Yeah, remember when you fell on the duck that Christmas? Oh, worst Christmas ever.
What is he even talking about? I'm not following any of this, and I want to.
I have no idea.
I can't.
I'm so lost.
Man, you guys came in like after the good stuff. So I'm lost with you guys because I don't know what this stuff is.
It goes on for 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
it's somehow
very
it goes on for this long.
Yes.
Yeah, jalapeno milk says hamsters. Now where the hamsters come from? I don't even know where they came from. Suddenly he just says, "And the girls are hamsters." He hasn't mentioned the hamsters one other time in the stream so far. And now suddenly he's talking about hamsters. I don't know, but if
We have no idea how he got from "I met your mother, she's selling Karate Kid videos" to hamsters up the ass. How did we get here, Liam?
This is like a terrible episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Right. Well, they were all terrible, to be honest. That show was like How I Wasted Your Time.
Well, maybe it is kind of in a good comparison then.
I guess so. At least we got a laugh out of it. At least I did. I laughed a bunch at the beginning of this, just with all the stupid contradictions. But now I'm lost with you guys. I don't know what he's talking about here. Maybe we should just speed it up and put it on
chipmunk speed,
like 1.5.
Gerbil speed.
Fed them to the neighbor's cat, which was
Oh,
horribly
he
cruel.
fed them to the cat. Okay.
Evil and wrong for me to do. And then I pissed in their bed and told them that they could go fuck themselves, which was the end of that. At that point, the government intervened. They didn't know what to basically do. And they had tracked down my mother. They had found her, and they had determined that she was unfit to treat us, to take us into care. And they didn't feel that they had professionals capable of dealing with, myself or my brother. We were out of control. We were basically animals. And we were smart because we had grown up smart, being treated like adults. So we could figure things out. We could break into things, get out of things. It was bad. So not good skills for young boys to have. And so they went to your great grandparents. My mother's parents. They were working at the brewery here at the time. Doing labor and accounting.
Did you go in and beat them?
Hey Nasser. Can I invite my friend Philip?
Your friend who?
Philip on these nuts.
That's a good one because I didn't.
Nasser likes these nuts jokes.
I think he might just like these nuts. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Nasser's racist because he can't racist these nuts.
That's a good one.
I'm the most racist person I know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hey, Nasser.
And they'd been largely disappointed with the life choices that my mother had made, obviously. And they were a very controlling and abusive family. Again, that's the reason I'm trying to keep you away from it. These people are bad. And the short version of the story is that I'm trying to avoid short versions so you get a full picture of all of this. But But basically, the government offered my grandparents a large sum of money to care for us in exchange for them not having to deal with us anymore. This first had to be handled in court. So there was a trial. We're taken in. There was a whole bunch of stuff that was going on. And my mother's defense, I remember it clearly. I remember sitting in there. My mother was about 18 or 19 years old at the time. And her defense was that we had stolen her life and that she just wanted to party. And, it was wrong that, we were so demanding of her. I don't know if she was sober at the time. But at that point, I decided that
You see, this is the thing I don't understand. He's like leaving this video like everyone you're related to is an awful piece of trash.
Haven't we seen his mom on stream before? She seemed like a really nice lady.
Yeah, right, but didn't
yeah.
This is the problem with all of this. It's like Liam wants pity, even posthumously, from his infant daughter, his unborn daughter. Like, I mean, this is, again, one cannot even, we're sitting here taking all this in like it's the most boring and pathetic church sermon in the entire world about from a mentally ill preacher. But the whole thing of this is, feel sorry for me, Liam. Like, I want your sympathy, even though I'm dead. And you are a small child. I mean, it's extraordinary what we're witnessing here. Extraordinary. I would ask Liam to look inside of himself. No, I'm not gonna say. Fuck, I can't say.
Come on, say.
No, I'm not. I'm not
Say
doing it. No. Horrible.
I mean, he's gonna look inside himself. He's gonna see
I'm not.
10 different personalities. Is that what we were getting at?
No. We're gonna make a cancer joke, and I'm not doing it.
Oh, okay. Make the joke, Ethan.
No, move on. All right.
Okay. Write it down in a DM, and I'll make the joke. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I hated my mother. And my little brother was sitting there next to me, your uncle, playing one of those old water games with the little metal ball bearings in them, and he just took it like it was nothing, But me, I was very angered by that because I'd taken a great deal of care of my mother, to the point where following the cesarean birth,
he keeps saying like he took care of his mother, but then he's like, we went to foster homes, we lived with my grandparents, she wanted nothing to do with that. When did you have time to do any of that? I don't understand.
Did you ever see that episode of The X-Files? I think it was called Home or something like that. And it was basically about a bunch of inbred brothers who kept their mother, who was horribly also inbred and the quadriplegic, under the floorboards. They wheel her out and fuck her every now and then, get her pregnant. That's what Liam's life reminds me of.
Yeah, except for there's more dog food eating.
Yeah, I think, there might have been dog food eating in this too. But that's what it's making me feel like.
Smug Pug says, this is making me feel very depressed while I eat my fish sandwiches. Who eats a fish sandwich? That's not the worst kind of sandwich.
I heard Liam's friend Suko never called him back.
Who's Suko?
Suko on these nuts.
Hikaru says, reported cum dumpsters. Oh, man. This guy is one of those crazy ex-girlfriends. This guy, I don't know why Ethan derangement syndrome gets to people this bad, but as soon as we were cool again, Ethan, Hikaru started coming into my chat, just diarrheaing himself everywhere.
Yeah,
like,
you know what? I've had the same issue with Hikaru. EVS. What the fuck, man? This is clearly your fault.
Well, I would try
as soon as I'm cool with you, Hikaru starts acting all fucking crazy. What's up with that?
Well, I just want to. I would look whatever misunderstandings we've had. I will take Hikaru to Chick-fil-A for lunch. Make it up to him, or does he prefer Wendy's? Wendy's nuts brush up against his chin.
I heard that he's a big fan of Imagine Dragons, the band. So he imagines dragging these nuts across his face.
These jokes are right up Nasser's alley. Like,
Comic book one says these nuts equal new Cyberfrog villain.
Got him.
All right, let's let's continue that. I don't even know what to say about some of this stuff anymore. It's just so weird.
She'd had for your uncle, I was actually the one actually tending her wounds. I was actually sewing her up, taking care of her, which as a child is ridiculous.
Tending
but I still
her
remember
wounds?
those horrific looking scars on her stomach that I would have to tend and treat every morning and every night before she sort of went to bed. So I very much had been running everything as best I could to keep us going. You know, I would cook dinner, I would make meals. You know, we couldn't even afford bread. She sent us to school with damper, which was just flour and water, and you know, wasn't a good mom. So I decided like I hated her, and all of my anger and my fury and my indignation just burned up inside of me, and I just watched her. And at that point, it was hard for me to ever really see her as
Is this why he started beating women?
He stabbed a woman with a protractor. Right
Yeah,
through
like
her
he
hand.
did that, and then his
Okay,
mom,
well, like I just want to get one thing out there. Some women need to be taught a lesson. Okay, like I know
Vicky.
Liam gets a lot of shit, but I mean,
Imagine when
come
you
on,
hear this that Liam's doing all of these things to Vicky, though.
oh yeah, fucking, I'd shake his hand. I would fucking shake his hand.
you know, yeah, that'd be the one exception. If he came out and said, and the lady I stabbed with the compass, it was Vicky versus. I'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, I'd do that too.
Yeah. Hey, free me, Liam. Fucking do it.
General Piggy, aka Bean from PA, says teleprompter confirmed. He does keep looking off at something at the side. I don't know what he's looking at.
Oh yeah. So what's up with Bean?
I don't know.
what
I
do you
mean,
mean?
she's come out of her shell.
She's
General
like,
Piggy. That's Bean from PA.
Fucking flirting with Ro on Twitter. What?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
DNV investigations tomorrow night. We're going to investigate, can a year of being made into bestiality memes make you get Stockholm syndrome? DNV investigates tomorrow.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I've seen a little bit of this. I saw that Ro and Gat were telling, and this is all just bullshit. They're just putting on a show, but Ro and Gat sitting there talking to Doug TenNapel about how they're firing everybody from War Campaign and they're going to fix their brand and all this stuff. And, you know, who cares?
Yeah.
And what, Doug is like my
so
people
weird.
or something?
No, I don't know. It's all about me. I mean, the thing about it is all of this is about me. And I know that sounds conceited, but it's me. I know that sounds self-centered, but it is all about me. You know, it's like, oh, we hate Ethan together. Like, so what if we made animal bestiality porn memes of each other? We all hate Ethan. We have that in common. So let's all be horrible pieces of shit together. And,
Amen. God bless America. God bless America.
I'm for. I guess it's okay with me. I don't know. What am I going to do?
You brought people
Ethan, that's how
together.
you know they're
Ethan.
trash.
You brought people together.
The only people that hate Ethan are trash. I would stay away from anybody that doesn't like Ethan, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's continue this though. Let's watch Liam tear his brain some more.
Someone I could take pity on again. I have since done so on a number of occasions, as I'm sure you know, but I think that it's best that she lives her life separately to us at this point. So we ended up in the care of my grandparents. We were moved out to a rural property called Ramornie, which is far out in the bush. I never got to see Becky Bell again. I tried to see her a few times and, you know, like catching the bus in ways I wasn't meant to and get down there. But the very last time I saw her, well, I went to see her before we were put into the custody of our grandparents and moved out of the city, was she was actually visiting her father. So I never got to see her. If it wasn't for her and her kindness, I would actually probably be dead.
So he's talking about
that's the chick he ate dog food with, right?
No, going way back to like the start of this thing. Because you guys missed some heavy stuff he was throwing out there. But he said when he was 4 years old, his father tried to rape his mother over a burning hot grill, which that doesn't make any sense. I mean, wouldn't he be burned too? But anyways, Liam is 4 years old watching this happen for some reason. And then he tries to fight his dad, and then his dad beats him. And Liam's
he's
like,
told this story before.
Right. And he's like, I was there laying on the ground and I couldn't move. And then somehow he jumps to, and then later my mom's smoking weed and I'm next to her on the couch and this girl walks in, the neighbor girl, and she just invited herself.
Yeah, that's
in
the
for
one
some
that he ate
reason.
dog food with. Yes. Okay, so I
they
was
ate
right.
dog food
Yeah.
together. All right.
Yeah.
But he's saying that girl saved his life, and then I
Yes,
guess she
because
never
they
wanted
ate
to
dog
see-
food together. How have you not heard this story before, Nasser?
I don't
He's
know.
told this story a few
But
times.
now he's saying she never wanted to see him again, and he was stalking her. He's like, I was catching the buses that weren't mine, so I could try and see her. Like, so he just admitted he was stalking this chick.
He was a kid. I mean, no, I'll let him have it. He is a kid.
I like Sam
Also,
Rogers in his chat who's saying, you truly are a great storyteller, which is why Wonder Island will be awesome. Is he being serious or is he like busting balls?
No, I think he's trolling him.
No, I think I think that guy's a fan. And he's convinced me too, Wonder Island.
Yeah.
Everybody should back it. It could be the last one. It could be.
Right. Or
Liam is a terrible storyteller. It's not just his comics. I don't understand what he's talking about. And if all this stuff happened, there's got to be a less boring way to convey it. I believe there has to be a less, because I mean, I feel like I'm at church. I really do. I'm listening to him go, and then I had to sew up my mother's wounds every morning with thread. She didn't feed us sandwiches because she didn't have any bread, so she just put some flour and water in a baggie and shook it up. And I decided I hated her, so I killed her. And I mean, I'm so bored by this. And like what I just told you is semi-interesting. Like that one section is interesting, but he made it so boring. And I don't know how. Like that takes an extraordinary lack of storytelling ability to make that make that boring.
Okay, I got it. We can do the story of Liam's life dictated by Liam, told by Ethan Van Sciver.
Okay. So at this point in my life, I was 8 years old living in a trailer in Australia. We had flies the size of shoeboxes that kept getting in because the windows were broken and they would bite my mother. I'd have to wake up every single morning. I'd wake up, I was 8 years old. I'd get out of bed. My mother would have weeping dragonfly bite wounds up and down her legs. Some of them would be up to 4 inches long. And she'd turn to me and say, Liam, get the knitting thread. And I'd have to go and get the thread and the needle. I was 8 years old, and I learned how to suture my mom's dragonfly bites, many of which were weeping and infected. Of course, a woman who was this ill was unable to provide us, 16 brothers and sisters, with adequate sustenance. We couldn't even afford Wonder Bread. That was 98 cents in 1987. So my mother, would send us to school with flour, which had maggots in it often, and water. She'd mix them up and she'd leave them out overnight to dry. And that is what I had to eat every day at school. I was so ashamed I sat by myself at another table. They all laughed at me and called me Flower Koala. It was fucking horrible. It was at that point that I decided I hated my mother. I hated her for what she'd put me through. I didn't want to sew up her wounds one more day. I wanted to work on sewing up the wound in my heart. So at that point, I bought a shovel and I decided I was going to kill my mom.
Oh, yeah.
How was that? Better?
Oh, that was a lot more interesting. Yeah.
That was awesome. Well, that's exactly what he said. I mean, more or less.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was what he was planning at that time in his life, for sure.
I wish that's what we were EFAPing.
So I'm just saying, like, like there's a way to tell all this shit. Like you don't have to make it that boring.
Yeah.
You don't have to make it boring.
It's so dragged out. Like I'm trying to think of an example of all the dumb, boring detail he's putting in, but he's just saying, we went, ha 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 ha. Your uncle Bobby, if he's still around, this is where Bobby comes in. So yeah, we were and that's just how he goes. Like it's so boring.
That would be fucked up if he said, "This is where your Uncle Bobby comes in," and then lifted up an old Pepsi bottle and it was full of semen. I knew Nasser would like that one too. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue this.
She would feed us dry dog biscuits, dry dog food that was for her dog. She would pretend that she was going out to feed the dog, for her mother, and I would wait under the steps. I'd climb up over the fence and I'd wait under the steps, and she'd leave it there, and then I would take it, and then I would eat it, and I would share it with Tilly, and then the two of us would come back over and jump back over the fence. And that was, honest to God, for the longest time, how I lived.
So this is where he admits to eating the dog food.
Yes.
You said he's
like,
bragged
I don't
about this
care
before,
if
right?
you've eaten dog food or not. Don't tell the whole internet that you used to eat dog food. It's not. There's just. And then he wonders why people make fun of him. This actually kind of pisses me off about Liam. Why do people make fun of me? Maybe it's because you told the whole fucking internet how you used to eat dog food.
Well, at first I was mad at the Bigfoot community for canceling him. Now I kind of understand.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, at least now he has some common ground with Vicky eating dog food.
Hmm. Did Vicky ever eat dog food?
She is a dog.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, let's continue this thing.
That was the only way I was eating. So that was she was a very important person in my life, we always climbed trees together, and she sort of would smile and always be happy, and she was always like full of joy and light, and I hadn't really encountered that much anywhere else, so it was very sad for me to sort of lose her. Anyway,
he killed her.
How did you lose her? You pushed her out of a tree, evidently.
Right. Like he was saying earlier, like, oh, she didn't want to see me anymore, so I would take the wrong bus to stalk her. Right? How did you lose her?
I started writing her name a bunch of times in a notebook. I then moved on to gluing letters from magazines. I would make her name out of letters from different articles.
This is all entirely bullshit. Every word of this is bullshit, and it's boring.
I agree.
It's tiresome. Just shut the fuck up. All right, go ahead. Play more. I'm going to see how much more I can take, but I can't take very much more.
Neither can I. I think we'll watch a couple more minutes.
It was mostly just motorbikes, and like hunting. We would do what young boys do out in the woods. We had slings and arrows and
slings and arrows. That's an interesting. We had slings and arrows. He said, "That's what you take. That's when you're persecuted. You take slings and arrows." He had them as a boy. It's interesting. What a weirdo.
So he killed Jesus.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, fuck. Didn't know Liam was Jewish. But...
Let's see. We got Anthol Kinsidious Fowl says Hill EVS.
Yep.
We got a smug pug saying, I don't know whether it's the stream or the fish sandwiches, but I'm not feeling too good. The Reroll Parasite, thank you for $2, says, did you watch Medicare's stream tonight? No, I didn't.
It was great. It was really good. It was really good. Yeah.
Can you just sum it up in like a sentence or two who this guy is? Because John Del
Medicare?
Tell me Medicare. I don't know who he is. John Del Rose is like, can't believe you're streaming over Medicare. I was like, I don't know who that is.
Medicare is like the king of Gamergate.
Yeah,
he's really funny.
Yeah, he just came back. It's been like a really long time since he streamed. It was really good. He made fun of Ethan Ralph.
Oh, good. I'm glad you said Ralph. Shit.
Yeah. It was he's a guy that commentates on things going on, and it was just a lot of just common, I guess, like things that like the average person thinks, really, like with fucking COVID going on, not being able to say what you want to say, but like he says it in a way that like I don't know, it's just fresh.
Full Custom Hot Dog says he's the goat of goats. By the way, if you guys like horror movies, sub to Full Custom Hot Dog. He's my favorite horror channel, so you guys should all go sub to him. Just type in Full Custom Hot Dog. Weenie, I think you're a wrench if you want to just post the link to your channel.
Medicare never made fun of me, you in the chat, guy from Red Bank. I was in two of his videos, by the way. And he was on my show, I think, twice.
Oh, nice.
It was kind of, I mean, it's kind of nice. I'm a big fan. It's kind of like brushing up against internet historian there, No, not internet historian, internet aristocrat.
Yeah.
King of Gamergate. That's how I kind of see him. And he walked away from it all, but he's the one who made the initial video about Five Guys that I think kicked off Gamergate and really clarified it, kind of made it clear what this was all going to be about. And then it just fell apart because some fucking faggots like Mundane Matt ruined it,
Yeah, well, you had like Mundane Matt. You had like JMK doing weird like gay ops. It was a lot of weird. There was just a lot of bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a link to Weenie's channel, so you guys should all go give him a sub. I think he's only got like 100 subs too. We got 64 people in here. Let's get him a few more subs, guys. Go sub to Full Custom Hot Dog. He's my favorite horror channel, so go give him a sub. Let's try and get through another. Let's give Liam another like minute.
That's all you get out of me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're at 43:39. We'll give him to 44:39.
Slingshots and bow and arrows, and we would just sort of explore things. We would kill snakes, and I mean, I know this is very dangerous stuff. I wouldn't recommend you try it, but this is like what we grew up doing, like smashing ants' nests and stuff like that. And creating big motorbike jumps. That was largely what we did. That's where I met Simone Nicholson, who was the girl that lived on the farm next door. We grew up. She was a couple of years older than me. She was the first person that she sort of taught me the ways of the world. Little 9-year-old
first person you what?
Yeah, I won't go into all the stories there.
Wait, what was that?
She was the first person and then he rethought what he was gonna say conveniently at that time.
Yeah. Oh God, this is awful. He's just awful. He's just awful.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, just end it, Nasser.
All right.
I don't want to look his little smirk as he reminisces about, putting his finger in a 13-year-old girl when he was a kid. I can't.
Christ.
I can't take it, dude. I can't take his fat face and his smirking asides and his endless bullshit about his terrible, boring life. And who cares, Liam? Wrap it up. You know what I mean? Wrap it up in every way possible.
Well, just like his life, it will be wrapped up soon, according to Liam.
Let's go.
Oh man,
do
you guys want to watch any more of this? Or should we just end it?
No. Who gives a shit? This is what I want to say to Liam. Like I would just say to him, who gives a shit? And whoever gave a shit, nobody cares. And stop it. Stop obsessing so much about yourself. Stop it. Nobody is that interesting except for Dean. Very few people are so interesting that you could go off at length about yourself. And so nobody cares, dude. You accomplished nothing in your life, and nobody cares. Just shut up, Christ. Just shut the fuck up. I mean, and the thing is, it's not like if you really are sick, and I mean, we're all like, I'm 46 years old, so mortality is beginning to stare me in the face. You don't know when you're going to go, and that's fine. I'm not 100% healthy, although I feel great. Who knows how much longer I've got in life? I like the idea of leaving behind a little note for your kid who who you maybe will not get to know. Not for 1 second do I think Liam isn't going to live another 100 years. See, that's the problem. I know Liam is still going to be here, hanging around for 100 years. He ain't going nowhere. This is just him being a narcissist and pretending and play acting and having an excuse to feel sorry for himself and get people to listen to him mutter weird bullshit about eating dog food and sewing up his mom's leg wounds.
Wait. There's a story of bestiality that starts out. Oh, come on.
But JV says EVS needs to hear it. It's about 2 to 3 minutes
All right,
long.
Go.
Okay. It better be real, JV. I swear to God. But yeah, I agree with Ethan. He should smell his favorite flowers, which are tulips, and he loves his 2 lips on these nuts.
All right. So you said on I was at the wrong time. So you
Holy
said
shit!
101
Waddle
30.
off this fucking mortal coil. I am tired of listening to this guy. All right, go ahead.
Cool. I felt stupid. I was just a troublemaking outsider. You know what I mean? I was just the guy that would get into fights and run his mouth and say funny things that would make other kids laugh. Do silly, outrageous things. You know, that's all I was. I was a clown. I was a fool. That's what I was as a child. And Mac Lane, he was the opposite. Teachers falling down at his feet. You know, he was the son of a footballer, so he was twice the size.
Is there
of me
anything worse than listening to some fat, weird narcissist, kind of establish his own self-image? You know, how he wants. I was a fool. I was always getting into fights as a rabble rouser, make other kids laugh. But listen, I don't want you to be like me.
Yeah. Also, I realized we're listening to Liam tell his own terrible origin story, and there's no payoff. He just ends up here.
I know, it's like, how did I get here? Like you would. Here's the thing. Like, this is the kind of thing that would be interesting if Liam were fit and handsome. He pulled himself together, and he was in a gigantic skyscraper overlooking Sydney.
How
and there
did
were
I
lots
get here?
Yeah, like, let me explain to you. Like, I wasn't born with this. I started out sewing up my mom's vagina and like eating whatever that was, killing ants and fingering girls in the woods, whatever it was. I started out there like low, but here I am, and I just want you to know that, your family came from humble sort. No, like you're sitting in front of. Of course, this is where you came from. You're still there. Like everything that you're talking about, you're still there. Sitting in front of Castle Grayskull.
Bright says, "Well, he dies. That's some payoff."
Well, it hasn't happened yet.
All right, we're gonna. JV, you said, I don't know. He gave us this timestamp. We'll keep it going for another like 30 seconds.
Like he was smart and strong and had unlimited potential. He was reading books from 3 years old when I couldn't do anything like that, and I was made to feel like a right idiot, right fool my whole life.
Hurry up and fuck cats.
And I was okay being the dumb guy.
It's gonna be dumb. I was dumb. I guarantee it.
People tell you enough for enough time, and you sort of start to believe it. So I was the idiot. I was just the retard, and I learned to laugh at myself and laugh at life and be a bit of a larrikin. It's where all my old dad jokes come from, I guess.
Now he's just a retard that can't laugh at himself.
But in the end, he was misled because he became lonely. I think this is a very important and ugly lesson, but I want you to learn it. He wanted to be loved, and while Troy and I and the other guys, we found girls that we didn't really have much problem with. He really struggled. And so with lesser options and with him being increasingly condescending with each year and angry and bitter and more bitter, as he let his hygiene slowly slip away into depression, he became less and less attractive and more desperate, leading him into ultimately sexual choices with partners that led him to be bisexual.
This is for his daughter.
Then led into homosexuality, which led in.
For his daughter.
This is for, honestly, just stop for a minute.
Girl, you gonna learn today.
Oh.
My friend fuck dogs.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Some hot dog. Why wouldn't you tell your daughter all about your gay friend?
Yeah. Shh. Oh my God, Andrew's gonna come downstairs. You sound like your father. All right, look. This is for his daughter. This is for his infant daughter. Holy shit.
Jesus.
All right, we're almost there. We're right on the precipice of the dog fucking. All right.
Them kids got
bestiality and his convictions regarding that, which is why we cut him off. He got involved in the furry community. Back then, it wasn't called that, and that was in high school.
They just called those weird.
And rather than his parents punishing him,
wait, what?
The furry community.
Oh,
all right, keep playing, man.
they instead bought him a dog to sexually abuse, which is when I cut off all contact with him. I thought it was disgraceful. But he went on to kill himself. He's never had a real loving relationship.
Elle is going to be like, my dad took a stand against dog fucking. Yeah, I'm so proud of my dad.
I'm glad that's one of the things I know about my dad now.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Let me die before Liam. No, I want to watch Liam die first, and then I'll die. I can't take it. I can't take it.
Keep going. We got to get to it.
Oh,
wait, what'd you say? Keep going. What?
We did get to it. Is there more? I mean,
yeah, I think so.
He cut off his friend because his friend bought a dog to fuck.
No. I thought he joined the furry community, and that's why he stopped out. Oh man.
Yeah.
Jay Fairclough, thank you for, is it £5? Says, I'm all about helping out the poor, and here's a little bit towards so you can pay your rent. Well, thank you very much, dude.
Yeah, Jay Fairclough, it's just £5. You can do better than that, Richie Rich.
Yucky Gum Comics, thank you for the $2 super sticker. Can't see what it is unless I look through the YouTube tab I have open, and I don't even see it there. So thank you. Thank you for the super sticker.
You're gonna learn about dog
fucking. My friend fuck dogs. Jesus. All right, I think this is a good, a good point to end. Nasser, I don't think it gets, but this was the best part of the whole thing. Was us getting to hear Liam tell his daughter in the future about how his friend fucked animals.
Right. Well,
thank God for this.
We have like 3 things to look at before we end. I just wanted to go over just a few campaigns real quick. The first wave, I can't even talk anymore. Cyberfrog action figures. 5 days to go. 2,441 backers. $476,702. I believe you're going to cross 500,000 before you go in demand.
Yeah, probably. I hope so. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm very. You want to know what I just realized?
What?
The worst part of all of this is it's like the kid's gonna be black, right? And so Liam's just telling this random fucking kid. Jesus Christ. He's like, Mom, who is this? I don't know, but he said it's a message for you. So his friend fucked dogs, Mom. It seemed important. It seemed important.
Oh my goodness. And
Mr. Dong says Liam's daughter needed to know about the dog molestation circuit. It's important. God, Liam's seen some shit. Like, he's been on the internet for so long. He lost touch with reality.
If he ever was in touch with it, I don't know.
He's seen the world, man.
But you guys should all get the Comics Gate Variety Fun package on Indiegogo. Super Asia Fun Toy, they've got 20 backers, $772. You get your own comic storage box with it, and you get the Pump Me I Squirt.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the stuff.
And you get the Comics Gate socks. Vicky modeled these. You get Amphibious Android, the wind-up toy. You get the Fat Uncle Whoopee cushion. It's not Cecil.
Yeah, so Cecil, is he just like a cosplay of this Uncle Flatulence guy? Why is he cosplaying a whoopee cushion?
Oh, he would probably take offense to that because he's like, wait a second, like that's my trademark that I stole from Dom DeLuise, So I think he would be really upset that it was stolen from him.
Oh damn.
Oh man, and of course you guys get a Comics Gate sticker with that.
Yeah, the stickers are really like
oh, man.
Nice.
And you got the Super Asia Fun Toy package, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was your favorite thing that was in it?
My favorite is the placard because it says comics bait. I think that's the best part. It's like this and more to come, maybe. Comics bait placard thing, and it's it took me like 2 seconds to realize it said comics bait, but it's it's really it's hidden pretty well. It looks like it says Comicsgate. That's my favorite part.
And of course, if you guys like fun 80s horror movies and slasher movies, you guys can get my new slasher series. There's a link there in the chat. We've already sold 5 books today, so thank you very much, everybody. Now we're 11 sales away from.
How do you sell your books after Liam just talked about his friend fucking animals? That's
easy.
It's just like, oh, Liam's friend fucks animals. How fucking weird. Buy my book.
Yes, but we still got 60 people in here, so hit that thumbs up, guys. Share out the link to this stream, even though we're ending. Someone might want to catch it on replay. Subscribe if you haven't yet. We're only I think 37 subs away, something like that, from hitting 2,000. So please help me get there, guys. And I hope you all have a good night. Bye.
Also subscribe to me.
Oh yeah, that's right. DA, I almost forgot to show your channel.
DA Talks.
Let me open it up real quick, okay?
Submit to DA Talks. How long is it going to take you, Nasser?
I just found it. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. Let me put it in the chat here. Okay, there you go. Now everybody subscribe to DA Talks. He's 1 subscriber away from 600, so somebody get him there.
All right.
Yeah,
remember, don't fuck animals. Don't wind up like Liam's friend.
Yeah. And remember, don't fuck animals. See ya.
Be like Ethan. Bye.